Okay, I'm back with another live stream. Uh-oh. Camera's froze. What'd you do that for? Let's see. I figured this one to be okay. Let's see if it comes back. Hello. Yes, okay. Sometimes they'll do that, and then if you get off of that scene in OBS, it'll come back. With the Wi-Fi cameras now. If that happens on the USB cameras, it probably ain't coming back. I don't think I've ever seen them come back unless you shut down OBS and open it back up. So that would have made me have to kill my stream. So there you go. Freeze frame. That hadn't happened in a while either. Okay, so the box that I showed. That box, I'm trying to see the right scene to get both me and the box. Nothing special about a box. Well, there is because of what's inside of this one. At least I'm pretty sure. I'd be really surprised if it wasn't what I thought it was because I looked on my Amazon. Actually, that's how I knew it got here. I didn't ever hear a truck, and you used to always hear the trucks, even if they don't. Sometimes they ring the doorbell, sometimes they don't. Most of the time they don't. And anyway, Amazon, on my account it said it was delivered today, so I was waiting on it. So I went out there and brought her in, and it's only been. It's almost 10 o'clock p.m. now, and I brought it in at, I don't know, around noon or maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember. But anyway, I needed to get stuff ready, and my Ethernet, it's from a server, and I needed to get my Ethernet cables straightened out and figuring out, I knew for sure which one went to what router and all that so that I could hook them up to the server after I get this part out. But let's go ahead and get the part out, and let me switch over to my wireless mic so that I can. I never did check my sound yet. Let me go ahead and use a desktop. Okay. Usually I do that before. I never did check my sound yet. There we go. That's already good. At least I didn't have to do it twice because. Like yesterday, I was making the video on the. This 2 days in a row. I've got stuff delivered, but I got my 750 watt power supplies yesterday that I ordered, and they. Anyway, I said, I just checked the sound with the SM58, and then I wanted to move, and so I have to get on. So I use my wireless mics to do that, and. So let's get this thing open here. Anyway, I'm rambling. I did that real bad yesterday. Okay, so this should be something cool. Yep, here we go. This is it. This is what I've been waiting on. This is the 8 gigabyte Radeon 570 8 gigabyte video card, and this brand is XFX. I actually read it up. Yeah, there's another one the other way. I read it upside down. How about that? So we'll get that out, and my goal is to get it in and working. We'll see how far we get, because oh, look at that. I was wondering. There's something else. I'll get that out too. Okay, now I bought a cable for it. Let's just go ahead and get it all out, and then I couldn't remember where this is. Shower curtains. I thought I ordered them at Walmart though, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to check on that because they hadn't got here yet. So got the shower curtains too. Let's see, I think I'll put the shower curtains over there in the box over yonder. Then I can stand it up more out of the way. Okay, and don't fall. Don't trip on your legs or your chair and fall. Usually when I do that, if I do fall, I land in the sit down in the chair most of the time. So This little bad boy, I'll get on the endoscope here in a minute, but this little bag, got it in a, I think it might be sealed. No, there you go. Got it in one of those bags like they put computer parts in, but this is not a circuit board. That's fine. I mean, and that's where the brand, I looked and looked, and I really only saw 2 brands that were selling these kind of cables. It's my power cable. Okay, ComCheap. This is these. Well, other than the HP brand, this one has 10 pin on one end. Let me get it under the endoscope and actually show it. It's a good looking cable. I mean, it has good looking stuff to it. I just hope that I don't end up with any trouble. I'm going to check it and make sure it's wired. I mean, I may not know 100% how it's supposed to. The pin out, I don't know where to find the pin out for. I don't think it's labeled. I can look and see, but I don't think it's labeled on the server. But let's get over here on the endoscope, and it's like a snake. You just don't want to. It looks like a snake. Oh, it's got 2 not populated. Okay, that's how they do it. Yeah, now if those were not all in the right place, you could be in real trouble. So it's a 10 pin to 8 pin. So that's okay. I get it. I don't know why I didn't expect that. But it's where the colors are the same as normal PCs, desktops. So that's good for me because that's what I'm used to. This is my first server I've ever owned, and I'm going to turn it into a super. Didn't say it's an HP DL380 G7, 64 gig of RAM and 2 6-core processors, 2.53 gigahertz. So that's 12 hardware cores, and with hyper-threading, that's 24 cores. It's gonna make a nice desktop. I thought I might set it up as a server and put a virtual hypervisor on it, but then I was sitting there, well, why would in the world would I want to do that? The whole reason I'm getting it is to have a super powerful machine. I was thinking about doing it because I was thinking about putting it in the garage so I wouldn't have noise and heat in here, but it's actually not near as loud as I thought it would be. But I don't know about the noise yet. The heat, we'll see. But I'd be stuck with the Lenovo Y5 that I call it, quad core with 4 gig of RAM. I'd be stuck trying to run all the applications over the network, and remote desktop used to really work really well back in Fedora 4, up to Fedora 14, and then, well, I jumped from 14 to 23, I think. I liked it so well I didn't want to quit, but remote desktop is not good anymore. And I got to thinking, the Fedora 14 Fedora Linux is what I'm talking about. I always forget to mention that I run Linux, but used X11 desktop, and the one in the newer versions of Fedora is a different thing. I keep forgetting what it's called. It doesn't give me any trouble. I haven't had any need to learn anything about it, but back on the cables. So the yellow are going to be 12 volts, and the blacks are going to be ground, and the red one should be 5 volts, 5.5 or 5.3, whatever it is. The orange one is usually a sense wire. Now, I don't know what this is going to be because I don't know the pinout from the server, but that's the normal. Okay, so yeah, now see this one, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it's got 3 power wires, and that's really odd. 1, 2, 3, and then jumpers coming over to make 2 more grounds. Why would you need so many grounds? And those are all populated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't want it apart, but it comes apart really easy. So it can be a 6-pin if you had a video card. This is for a video card, So if you had a video card that needed 6-pin, you can just take that off, just like a lot of the cables for desktops, that Well, the motherboards, the ones that I've used are the ones for the main motherboard connector for the processor and everything. And this just so happened this one turned out to be like this, but that snake's gonna bite me. Okay, I don't want it getting hung up in my cables down there. That's why I'm so worried about it. My Ethernet cables. One of them doesn't have a clip to keep it in there, and I don't want it getting yanked out. But so it has an SATA cable, and it has a Molex, regular Molex connector. And the reason I'm really concerned that it's wired right and all that before I turn, power anything up with it is because the only one, I'm not, well, I started to go in there, but I've spent time looking at it, showing it yesterday, and I showed it when I was looking at them and trying to pick one, and then I decided, well, I got too tired to keep going, and so I picked one. I ended up getting this one I'd been looking at the next day, and so yesterday I showed on the video I showed what I actually got. But the one really bad review that made me look for another one, and I couldn't find another one that even was really what I needed, because I wanted 10 pin to 8 pin, and I don't want double. There's 10 pin to 2 8 pins, but I didn't want that stuck in my server because my server, because I never did finish my other sentence. They said it burned out there. It said they plugged in their DVD player or DVD drive, and it let out the magic smoke, and so they knew it was the cable bad because they had another cable that worked fine, a normal cable. So that that simply probably had something wired. All you got to do is just either one of them. I mean, these clip down. I think I've never tried to. I've had them break before, and this end will come open, and I've had them break, and they won't stay. The wires won't stay in there good. And their wires are, I think they said they're 18 gauge. They're big enough, I think. I hope they're big enough for 150 watts. That's the next thing I was going to say. But these I've wired and rewired these, not the ones like this, but that are side clamps, but the normal ones that you have in PCs. I've actually figured out something. They have tools, but if you take a pin, like that kind of pin, no, you need more and more like a regular Bic pin. No, what kind of pin? I saved one in my toolbox. Anyway, if it's not too tapered, getting fat too quick, take out the ink part, the writing part of it, and just use that hole was just the right size to shove in there and release. On the male ones, you can take them out. Don't know if I've ever tried the females. This is a female, but anyway, you can stick them in there and release them. There's clips in there without tearing them up when you want to change them out, and like you rewire them for different kind of fans or something. That's what I was doing, but I haven't ever needed to do that on peripheral devices and stuff. Anyway, hopefully this is just right. It is a bit curious to me. I'm sure they didn't just do those 2 grounds on there by some sort of mistake, but why would you have so many grounds to power a video card? Now, I've never had a video card with this many. Actually, I've never had a video card that needed an external power, so I don't know. And it's 150 watt. Let's get it. I think I'll leave this out so that I can just put it over here. Well, let's put it back in this bag. That way it's safer. Let's get back on that other camera. That way it's in a safe place. But at least I think it'll go back in there. You really got to keep winding on it. Yeah, that outer casing it looks kind of like, it looks a lot like a snake, probably on purpose. But it's that weaved kind, and it wants to go where it wants to go. Okay, so I'll put that together with that. Yeah. Let's get this bad boy. I guess I couldn't see nothing sitting down. Oh, warm myself out long before I got to the video portion of the day. But better turn that leg. I'm tripping on that. My wheels on my chair are wore out. Where they stick into the base. and they lean, and so they just fight the living crap out of you. Okay, there's a little piece of tape to cut. Went right off the side. See, now that's why you keep your fingers the heck away from your blade, because that could have jumped right off of there and then cut the heck out of me if I had my fingers in near that. And I bought my mom, it makes me think, I bought her one of those last year, the year before. She was having trouble. She's always grabbing, like a butter knife or something. Not quite that bad, but some kind of knife, kitchen knife to open things up. And she was really having trouble because, they're dull. And they'd come off, and they'll still cut you usually, So anyway, I thought, well, she needs and her, she's 20 years older than me. And I'm old. So, something on my hand. Anyway, she can't hold things. I have trouble holding things like nowadays, and she has way more trouble than I do. She got arthritis, and all that. So anyway, I got her one, and then the first thing she did was start cutting straight towards herself. I was like, and then thought about it. She never had to learn how to use a sharp knife. She never liked sharp kitchen knives because she'd cut herself with them, and now I don't know why. But she's got the kitchen knife she used, her favorite kitchen knife she used when I was a kid, And I mean, it's never been sharpened. I think one time years ago I said something about sharpening it for her. She says, no, well, I'll cut myself with it. Okay, warranty card. So I didn't. Some other cables that they sell. Other adapters and things that you could get for this. Oh, yeah, okay. I saw an adapter. Then there's some of those USB sound cards and stuff like that. Shows you how to take the fins off the fans. Take the fans out. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is a manual. I should probably give that a look. A squeeze. I was going to say a squeeze. I watched too many. Yeah, that's Davy Jones, the electronics genius. He says, give that a squeeze. And first time I was like, what? And that means squint your eyes and look at it, is I believe what it really means. But anyway, that's what he says when he's going to look at stuff. Download the latest drivers. Stop and download the latest drivers. All right. Well, actually, unless I have some need, I don't game or anything. I want it, unless I need the proprietary drivers. I did look, and they do have them for Linux. They have them for Red Hat, and Fedora. What I'm going to run is made by Red Hat. Should already. Hopefully, the ones the ones that'll do me plenty will be in Fedora already, because Fedora is really good about that. And they'll have open source drivers, and then if you want to download their proprietary drivers and install them, sometimes it's not too hard to get everything working, and sometimes it's hard with. But I haven't done that. The last video cards I bought were 512 megabytes, and they were brand new at the time. And maybe the next thing, they had 1 gigs maybe, or maybe 2. No, they didn't have 2s at that time. And I had one for me and one for my mom's machine, and within a couple of years of each other. And they still work fine in the machines that they're in, and one of them's not in the machine right now, but actually the fans went out in them after all these years, and I bought some new fans, China fans, real cheap, and one of them I was running the machine as my server for 2 or 3 months, and that fan already wore out. It's sitting over there waiting for me I decided to make it silent, put heat sinks on it, but I haven't done that. Support and all that stuff, that's what that one's about. Okay, so here we go. Drum roll, please. Any more junk in the bottom? You make sure you look in those boxes. You might be missing something real important. Oh yeah, there's another box right there. So let's get this out of the bag. It's a big one, man. I've seen videos of Morton, the server guy, super server guy. The guy taught me pretty much everything I know about servers. Thank you. Thank you again, Morton. It's got little plugs in there, but it's got DVI-D, which is what my monitor takes, that and VGA. And I do have an adapter. I'll get that out later. That's I've never had anything with a display port. I don't even have a display cable or anything. So that won't be of any use to me, but this was the best deal on, if you go down to, like, say, a different type, the price goes up. You go down and prices, like this is $139 when I bought it. It already went up to $149, but they keep kind of going up and down every few months. Anyway, the HDMI I have a 30-foot cable that I never did end up using. That works fine. Well, I did use it for a little bit, but anyway. Yeah, there's all kinds of plastic to peel off. It's got nice big heat pipes in there, and there's that connector. Let's see if where's my cable? I already bagged it back. I knew it was better than to do that. I'm sure it'll fit, but and this bag is so tough. I cannot do that anymore. I can't get little small things apart. There. What did I just drop? There's something that came out of the bag. Let's make sure it's not something important. Oh, looky there. They knew that those things were... It's a cable tie. They knew they were hard to deal with. They gave us something. Cool. That'll be good inside the machine. Where's that connector? It's on the other side. So, okay, yeah, there's one way you should be plugging it in. I'm not going to plug it in all the way because I don't want to have to... I just want to make sure that it at least acts like it's going to plug in. Can't see. Yeah. Well, might as well. Yeah, and then I should be able to... Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. Well, it stays pretty good. Okay. So, I'm going to put this cable tie on here right now, and then later I will... I think it's the Velcro type. I used to do sound for bands. I remember when these came out. They were quite liked by my friend who owned the sound company that I would borrow his gear to go to free shows for people. Sometimes I actually got paid, though. Let's see. I guess I did it backwards. Yeah, I did. I was thinking, well, I want the blue side out. But if you want it to clap, you got to clasp. You got to do it right. So... Let's go right there so I don't have so much sticking out. I prefer regular old twisties. I just save twisties out of everything. And I usually always have plenty of twisties. And these, yeah, there you go. Right there, perfect. See, this one's not even really grabbing. There we go. They're not that great. When you're using them, heavy duty use, wrapping up big cables. I mean, they had big, stronger ones than that one is, but I don't think we're going to be able to see much of those are sure small, easy to, the blades, they're not like a regular computer fan. They're wonky on the shaft, and the blades, you could just be careful about getting any. Yeah, keep the cable away from that. If one of those connectors hit that blade would shatter all over the world. And the blades on my old 512 megabyte ones would cut the living crap out of me one time when I was messing with it running, trying to figure out where the noise was coming from. The biggest noise was me when I got my finger in that fan. But, okay, here's what we get here. It's like a pouch. It's kind of like a folder. Yeah, but it does come with a cable. But I just broke it. Oh, it doesn't. I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else in there. it comes with a cable, but I needed a lot longer cable than that little bitty thing. I knew that. I just forgot just now. Heck, damn it! My little pouch is coming. It came apart there. It's just tabs, you know. I wanted to put it back together because I was going to keep that stuff in there. I'm probably not going to keep that stuff in there. It won't go back in there. All right. I do keep the boxes for quite a long time, especially until, at least until the. Usually, I plan on keeping boxes until the, and it's got a CD Windows drivers. I'm sure. I guess I could look and see. But yeah, that length of cable ain't gonna work. It goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 to supposed to be another cable in there in the pictures when I was ordering it. It's only got this one set of cables. Uh-oh, this machine doesn't seem to be working so great. Let me go look at see if there's something. Oh, I left the web browser running, and that's what it is. It's just going nuts on the. This is why you don't want to do that. I'll show you. I left the preview playing. Completely forgot. Normally I do that on my laptop, but it's gotten to acting up and not being able to keep up. The only thing that might keep up with doing that would be this server. But yeah, I was about to lock up. My stream may be and OBS it does that. It's 25 to 50%, and then when the web browser was going, I don't guess I ever ended up showing this page where you could have seen it. But the Firefox, that's why the fan was loud on that thing. I was like, that thing. A while ago, I thought that thing's louder than I remember. It usually being. Yeah, because it was working itself to death. Let me look in there one more time. Yeah, Firefox shut down okay, and it's. Let me look. Make sure. I caught it in time. It was about to. My video might have been like the live stream may be messed up. The preview was frozen. It looked like. Hopefully my backup. If it is messed up, hopefully my backup video will be okay. That's why I like to always monitor my live stream with another computer so that I can know if anything's going wrong. But the laptop has not been able to keep up lately. I don't know if it's because of some changes in. It could be something in different new code. They have changed up the YouTube code a whole bunch of. They've redone the whole thing, and I got to thinking, well, heck, the web browser might not be updated yet on that laptop. I may have to do it manually. To get it update to the newest one. What I do on like this machine, because this is Fedora 28, and they're not giving out. They might give out a few security updates here and there, but that's about it. And so I set up Firefox to update itself. I call it standalone mode. It's kind of like portable mode, but can't think of what I'm trying to click on. There we go. Okay, I wanted to get a look at this connectors. I didn't want to open the bag. Let's see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's just a 8-pin to 2 6-pins. Oh, okay. On a normal PC, you'd put this on the card and then use up your 2 6-pins on the motherboard, assuming you have that. Normal PC motherboard. All right, now I'll get it. Now what I want to know is on that connector, I don't know if I'll be able to. Now this is the connector. What I was wondering is there any writing on there that, even if there is, it's going to be on in the back side of the. Let me look with my magnifying glass, because if I can find it with my own 2 eyes, then it might be worth an extra effort to try and show it. But if I saw, a positive and a ground on the circuit board, then I would know. Help me check my cables. What I'm getting at. just can't see. I wonder if I can see through the top. I can kind of look through the fan, but I can't see anything. Oh, wait. Let's try it with that, with the endoscope. That could work. Just have a little more focused look in there. Let's see if I don't want it falling, so let's try that. I do need to check my stream. I started to think, well, if it's 80.8 degrees in here and has been since about 4 o'clock, and so I just couldn't bear turning on another machine. And even if I had it on, I'd have to switch over. Now that it's come back to normal, I see a signal in OBS, but that doesn't mean my stream is okay. But yeah, now Firefox is taking a long time to open up. Let's see if I can restore previous session. Where is it? Oh, I hadn't got to that point yet. I don't think where am I? Yeah, I'm over here. Okay. There. Okay, now. Oh, it's offline. My stream's offline. No, it's not. It just took a while to come in. So let's make sure it's still working. Yeah? There we go. Okay, now this time I can close you before you start eating up all my it's not so it will eventually eat up all the RAM on the machine, and that's what locks it up. But it was using so much CPU. It had like 3 or 4 different threads using up a lot, way too much CPU. So endoscope. Yeah, and the endoscope has a light, but let's see if we can see. Real bad about reflecting on stuff too. See if we can see. Where's the connector? Right there. Okay. See if we can see down in there at all. See, now there's the connector below the fan blades. But what I was thinking is, I guess I'll have to try it this way. This is what I was thinking. Ah, it's trying to work. Maybe a little light. It has a lot built-in light, so might do it. Let's see. That's not the right connector. Oh, that thing gets hot. I'm trying to hold it in one hand and hold on to the camera thing with the other. I'm not in the right area. There we go. Kind of need. There, that's it. I still can't read the stuff. Oops. Do not break the fan blade, please. Oop. There's a ridge on that. It's actually meant to hold, on that barrel for that thing, it's actually meant to hold a clip for a magnet to like pull stuff out. If you lose something down in your engine or something like that. This is what I actually bought the thing for. I got to do something different because that's not working. Oh, let's try this. If that'll get it up to about the right height, that's my box for my. There we go. Yeah, it's really not about the right. It's about the right height, but not quite. Okay, now there they are, but I can't see. I can't get close enough like that. So it's still about me holding it, or I got to get something to prop it up a little more. I think this box that came with everything might be just right. Yeah. Connector, where'd you go? There you are, connector. Now that puts it down in there, like I was doing a minute ago. So let's see if that'll work. There. Yep. What a shame. I don't really, I mean, it's really so blurry. I don't really want to stick it up in there too far again like I did a while ago. I don't see anything that looks like a plus and minus sign. That's what I was looking for. There's words, but I don't see anything that looks like. I mean, definitely don't want to mess up those blades. So I took a lot of time for. No, okay. I didn't look in there with my closer magnifying glass. Oh yeah, I have a jeweler's headset. I just remembered. What is this thing? Right there. Put my thumb on it, and then I automatically know where to look. Oh, now that gives me light, and it just about. It's still not. Oh, okay. MU1001 looks like. That's what that. Yeah, there's not any, unless they're on the back side. Well, the back side's covered. I'm not going to take it apart. Wait. Ow! I think that tried to cut me. That hurt. The back side has a 10 on there, or no, a D1. Yeah, if you had the data sheet, if they publish a data sheet for this thing, you could probably figure it out. But we could probably just figure it by the pictures. There's only going to be one connector like this on it. But I mean, you could look at the locations like D1. That D1's probably a location. So I can see where it was soldered. Of course, they're soldered by machines, not by people. So they don't put markings on boards that are made in manufacturing sites like they would something hand soldered. So, oh, okay. There's a protector on the connector. And there's a number. Well, okay. So it does show you how to take this little cover off and to take the fans out. So I guess that's maybe a good way to clean them or something. I don't know. I didn't read it. I just saw pictures. But right now, I'm just going to... I want to check more into the... let's look at the documentation for a minute together here. Yeah. See, oh, okay. It's actually so big I can read it, but if I can look at it that way, that's fine too. Look at it on the preview. If I can figure out which way to turn it, there we go. It's a little too... Yeah, if you're connected to the internet, get the new drivers. Oh, okay. In case the ones on the disk are there, in case you're not, you can't do that. And visit their site to support drivers and so on. Oh, and then support AMD.com ENUS download. Oh, okay. I've already looked all that up, and that's how that's how I knew that I wanted to go ahead and buy it to try to use in a Fedora Linux system. Let's see. support. And warranty card. Let's see, I can't remember what the warranty is supposed to be. Didn't really say. Just said about their company and everything. I didn't say anything about how long it lasts. That's I don't know if these are actual instructions. Now, there's that same one I already looked at, and on here again. These were the, the different things I saw when I was just looking at it there. Things they're trying to get you to buy, other things. Troubleshooting. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Make sure the power supply meets the minimum. Yeah, I kind of alluded to that, but yeah, that's why I bought these new 7. See, my server came with 460 watt power supplies, and it's it was made around 2010. It's used, what do they call it? They don't call it refurbished anymore. What are they calling it? Anyway, they say minimum 500 watt on their website and recommended 550 watt power supply. They don't tell you. I like to never figured out that it uses 150 watts. I found out on another site a review about it, about just those in general. It wasn't specifically this brand though that they were reviewing. This is when they first came out. They had the new one, and so I kind of thought, well, my power supplies are 460 watt, and they'll do that full all the time. These server power, this server stuff is made much better than consumer stuff. And I mean, it says that in their manual. I got their PDF manuals and everything. And but I still, after I ordered this, I thought, I don't really want to push them that as hard as I think it'd be pushing them. And so, it was while I was shopping for the cable, I ran across those two 750 watts for $28 for both of them. So I said, you know what, I'm getting those. So that's why I have new power supplies. I wasn't originally going to do that, and I'm not reading that, I'm talking. But I think I'll be glad I did. I was kind of concerned about, jumping up in wattage, making more heat. Then I got to thinking, well, if I use those, they're going to run harder and they're going to make more noise and maybe even more heat because of that, I think this is the installation. I know how to put in a graphics card, but you should pay attention, Okay. What is this? What is it telling you how to do? Oh, how to replace fans. Oh, this is not installing the card. This is how to replace fans. They don't recommend you do it while it's in your computer. Check it out. Push the tabs. Huh. So, well, a lot of people I've noticed, these people that are into building real pretty PCs and gaming PCs that are good looking ones, first thing they do is they take the fans out of whatever it is and maybe upgrade to something that's better or just a different color because they want. And of course they got LED lights and everything, and they, they do the colors they want and stuff, which is cool. But I never had the kind of money to spend to do stuff like that, and I really wouldn't get in. I've got my one of my boxes that I got years ago puts used parts in it, but actually I bought a kit from Tiger Direct from my mom, and it's got red LEDs all up and down the front. I like it, and they're not they don't blink or anything. I couldn't handle that, but and so I have two of them because the first one came with a crack in it had a translucent side cover, and it was cracked all the way across from one end to the other, and they sent me another one and let me keep this one. And so I went ahead and put some parts I had in it, and I was going to look at the CD. But that's a dual core, 1.8 gigahertz. It never was a very powerful machine. And Mom's was pretty good. It was AMD dual core, and it seemed like it was twice as powerful as that 1.8 gigahertz, but it was at 2.4 gigahertz too. But it was AMD, and of course the other one's an Intel dual core. But I've been using this quad core for 3 or 4 years now. Got that given to me by my old neighbor. But just says driver. That's it. Nothing on there. Nothing to see here, kids. Just the driver DVD, but don't use it because you should go download the new ones from the server, from the website, from wherever, somewhere. Okay, so I'm kind of worried about. I'm going to put these parts back in the little box. It was contrary, didn't want to let me do anything. Oh. I need a master control operator to switch cameras for me and all that. I used to have a job at a little TV station. I said that not too recently. I'd forgotten about it. I used to be a master control operator at a small TV station in Dallas. You had to manually switch everything. You had to get the tapes, put them in the machine. I almost got hired. I did actually get offered finally at a place that had, this is back in the days of 3/4 decks back in the 90s, but 3/4 inch tape decks. But I got offered a job. I wanted to work there, and they didn't hire me at first. And then a few months later, they called me and said, "Hey, we need somebody on the weekends. You wanna do it?" And I was working doing sound for bands on the weekends, and it actually could have worked out because they wanted me to come in at midnight. And work till morning, but I decided not to do it because I thought I'm going to screw up both jobs trying to do that. Trying to work from 6 till say 10. Well, the hard thing is getting out. You don't always get out of there when on time. From a show, you don't know when it's all going to end up and when you're going to be ready to leave. But usually they were over around 10, and I might have been able to do it. It was conceivable, but anyway, I put those back in the box. Because I don't know, I just didn't want anything to happen to it, I guess. Okay, so my cable, I threw it too far away, I can't reach it. But that's okay because I have a remote control, back scratcher. This is an analog remote. You can turn computers on stuff on and off with it. Works perfect. It's also a back scratcher. Okay, so the only thing I can see to do, well, let's see. I've already looked, but let me look one more time. Well, let's just get the meter out. No, let's don't get the meter out first. Let's go do that. I'm going to get in the manual and look at the section about the 10-pin connectors and see if it tells you anything about the pinout, but I'm almost certain it doesn't, because I've really pored over those sections a lot, and I do not remember anything like that. So, let me get on the desktop here. I'll switch back to this. A whole lot better. Okay, I like the sound of it a whole lot better, the SM58. Okay. Now, I closed down everything but OBS when I saw that the machine was getting in trouble. So I have to open up my file browser here. And I started thinking, I should check the stream, but that's going to take a lot of extra work. So what I'll do is just, if it turns out there's something wrong with it, that's what I do anyway, is there something wrong with the stream? But I like to know what's going on, If there's something wrong with the stream, then I'm going to end up uploading the backup video anyway. But I need to stay there so I can see that it's not failed. They hardly ever do, but they have, So, spare parts. I think I printed that page to a PDF is what I did. Yeah, it says Mozilla on the end. I left it like that so I know that's how I got it. And these others, most of them I downloaded. Let's see. Maintenance and service guide. That's the most complete. A lot of the same information is in the manual and in here, but I think I did see a couple of things in the manual that I hadn't seen in here. So this is the power supply specs. And let's see, what do I want? Oh yeah, 10 pin. Let's see. Power. Yeah, power connector A. I don't think it's going to give us anything. Let's see, power connector A, B. The one I'm going to be using is number 3 there. So A, B, okay, 1, 2, 3, SAS connector. SAS power connector B. But they are actually meant to be used for, I don't know, SAS, you know, that's the hard drive. That's the type of hard drive it uses. But they are actually meant to, and I did a video showing the connectors and double checking everything, what's in there, you know, what's available and stuff. And there is only those 2 big power connectors. I mean, there's some for smaller devices and stuff, but this one is being used for the 8 SAS hard drives in the front. And then this one is going to be the whole 150, it'll put out 150 watts. Somewhere it tells you, yeah, here's the specs on what it can do for the 2 the PCIe 216 riser supports a maximum of 150 watts with an HP power cable, and that's what this cable is for. The cable must be used for PCI card wattage is greater than 75 watts. At first, I was just going to get something under 75 watts, but then when I saw how expensive the older chips, you know, like 1, 2 gigabyte ones are, you know, 60, 75, 90, 80, $90, and then it's 100. And the 4 gigabyte ones, I mean, 4 gigabyte ones, or just hardly a little bit less than that, this 8 gigabytes. So I kept thinking on it until I finally decided to get this one. So, but I you know, said before, we got the 750 watt power supplies because of that. And it does not say depending on your power supply. It's the only time the word watt is even in this manual. So that's how I find stuff, you know, it's searching like that. And so I don't, it gives me more power headroom, you know, to have the bigger power supplies, but I believe that the circuits going to the PCIe, you know, and the cable, of course, their HP power cable wouldn't be made to take any more than 150 watts. And this cable, well, I've seen, yesterday I found a place that was selling HP cables, you know, HP branded cables, and they weren't the one I needed, but they didn't look like they had any bigger wiring, you know, than this. So I think I'm okay on that. And I think amp, I don't know. Yeah, amps is not in there too much either. They're probably using, well, if they were using Ampere or whatever, Ampere, I always forget if it's AMPER or RE or whatever, but the specs are on the power supplies, and they're in here. Well, the actual, like, you know, the 750 watt, I think it's 65 amps maximum on that rail. So that's going to be, I forgot. Let's see, how do you do that? I'm not ever been very good at math. I'm not good at remembering like math equations and stuff, but it actually is a really simple one to figure out. You know, convert amps to watts and all that. But when I get the power supplies out, maybe I'll look at that again to make sure. But I would like to know what mine that came with it, how they compare their max watt amps to. Once you pull it out, you can see the sticker. I didn't pull them out yesterday. I was tired, but I did the same thing. I warmed myself up before I started, so I didn't go, you know, I went too long, but I didn't do as much as I wanted to do on the video. Let's see, what else have we got? What am I looking at? LED combinations. This is about the lights. Oh yeah, the little status board on the front of the computer. Yeah, I don't think that there is a place for, I think I've searched for pinout. I don't think I found a single entry on that. There's the word pins, jumper pin. Yeah, there's no pinout in here. Let's try dash. Yeah, there's no pinout in here. I think you'd have to be getting a, you know, a wiring diagram. You'd have to be getting like a, maybe, I don't know if I guess I ever tried to look for a data sheet on them. They probably, since, you know, HP, you know, these kind of servers are proprietary equipment, so I don't think they're going to be publishing data sheets for their motherboards and stuff. They might, but it'd be cool if they did. But I guess I'll close it, and I'll close that too, just to keep this thing from. And I guess I will check my stream before I get back on the camera. I need to think what am I going to do? Okay, I'll get the meter out, and I'll just see, make sure that none of the wiring is wired wrong from the color code, you know, like go from one end to the other. Because that would be the most common thing I would think that would happen, is they just stuck a wire in the wrong hole, you know. They probably know, since they're selling these, you know, and I see this brand everywhere, and they had good reviews overall, you know, different products and stuff that I ran into when I was looking around for other brands. I forgot what, there we go, live dashboard. And it does look and feel well made, you know. The wires, I mean, they're just like any other power cable wire, you know. So 150 watts does, in my mind, seem a bit much for that cable size, but I guess we'll find out. And it's not going to use 150 watts all the time. I'm not going to. The only time I'd push it is, I'm not. Earlier I said, you know, I didn't finish. I don't play games or anything. All I want is to use it to. I might want to use it to render videos. It may not matter as much RAM as I've got and everything. It may not really help. Let me go ahead and check. All I want is to use it to. I might. So, yep, it's working. Yeah, I might use it to render videos, but if I, you know, and it's, well, Morton of my Playhouse channel, he worked on getting that happening in his IBM and Lenovo servers, and well, he was running his operating systems, and he's running them on a hypervisor and running them in virtual machines, so and that presented another challenge. That's another reason why I thought, well, just go straight, you know, I'll just put Fedora as the main operating system, and then you're going straight through the hardware, you know, easier. And that's what the proprietary drivers, I didn't finish talking about that. I may install them for that reason, but if that'd be the only reason I would even bother to install them. Let me switch mics now. So I left that page open on purpose this time so that I could make sure it's working right. The audio when I switch. Let me switch mics. I have to keep on talking so that it will. I left that page open on purpose this time. There we go. So the wireless mics are working. I always, when I want to hear something, I stop talking. Well, when I stop talking, I stop having anything to hear on this live stream. Okay, so let's get back over there now. Now, yeah, let me get my multimeter, and I can do, you know, let's just try that. I can actually zoom in with this camera without having to move it or anything. I'd have to, well, that's as far as it'll go. That's fine, and I think I can stay in that work area okay. It's a little far away, but not too bad. So, maybe I'll go back a little bit because that's going to restrict my movement so much I'm liable to get out of the. I just wanted to be able to tell what I was doing, you know. And you know, I think I've been using this one on me, this Comrie Cam, the new camera I've got, and my phone one on the objects lately, and And it is a little, you know, this one's a bit more clear because it is a 13 megapixel sensor. The phones are too. So, but my phones do better with light. So, but now I think I'm liking this better, and especially that zoom can come in handy when you in a situation like right now. So that darn thing was sticking to my hand, sticking to my hands are dry and you know kind of scaly or whatever because I wash my hands all the time, and I always have. It's not because of right now. I've always done it. So. Stuff stick, Velcro stick, anything, you know, a sock, silky material. I can't let go of things. I can't let go, you know, like lint when you, like I washed clothes yesterday and I had to do 3 loads, did all the towels and everything. And I got tired and went to bed. Well, I started making videos while I was doing it. And so the last load I folded today. And I think I'm going to have to, well, I'm not going to be showing any reading. I'm just going to be beeping, so just going to use the beeper. So everything kept sticking to my fingers. So here's what I'm going to do then. Let's see, put this on. I have to remember how to do it. That's the one with the speaker on it. Okay, now you hit select. Now it should beep. Yep, now it'll beep. Okay. So, oh yeah, I did not have, I just figured out a month or 3 ago. I never realized that they're not easy to get on and off, but oh, that's right. You don't do it that way. They're sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack. They poke the living crap out of you. But when you need to, I didn't know you could take those off and make these long. And I thought, well, you know, I complained about them sometimes when I was using them. I'd say, you know, well, that's good to keep you from accidentally shorting things out. Because I have done that with my old analog meter, because my old Radio Shack that I've had since the 70s. But I'm going to go this way because it just seems more, no, I can see it better. Okay, so they don't go, I don't want to force them in there, so I'm going to have to, it's going to be tough to do. Okay, I'm going to get things where I can kind of do this. Okay, I won't know which one's which though. Not sure if I'm touching. That one went in there because there's nothing in there. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, it could be, I would imagine on this Y it'll be more than one. No, I'll have to go to the, okay, yeah. That corner power goes to the Molex, and this is too little for me to stick my deal in there. And the next one, this corner, oh, that one's empty. Wait, why does it have a wire? Oh, I see. I just learned something. Just learned something about this thing. So, where is the endoscope? Okay, I didn't notice that a while ago. See those 2 wires? They are not 2 separate. And this one has nothing in it. See, you can see all the way through. So that's how it's able to handle more the wattage. Is it's got 2 wires. Because I thought, you know, those are okay wires, but they're not 100. I don't think they're 150 watt wires. So that's what they're doing. It's doubling up. There's another one to ground. There's that. No, that might be in 2. Might be in 2. Yeah, they're 2 separate ones. And that red one, which is probably 5 volt. And you see that all the yellow ones are. And that's orange one. Well, I mean, it could be negative 3 volts or something. I don't know what kind of voltage has to be sent to one of these to any video card, much less the new ones, you know. But that one that I tested, it went to here. As long as I don't get something really seems weird, I'll figure it's okay. I'm tested in the dark here, really. Now see, but those are not doubled up. Okay. So, oh, they're doubled. I knew that. Or you probably tell me what a goofball I am. These are doubled up because it's a Y. That's why it's not giving you more amp, able to handle more current. You know, it's doubled up because it's a Y. They're going to do different sets of cables. So anyway, I'm just going to see if I get anything weird, really weird. You know, beeping on me. So something that I could actually say, oh, that don't seem right. So yeah, okay. Now this other one. Pretty hard to hold together. And I'm on the wrong camera. Okay, now that way. So this one beeps down there. If I get it in there right. I think I'm in between the. I can't. It's all just a blur to me, without any. That's why I use that endoscope all the time, is to help me see, not just for the video. Yeah, see, like if you put on these other pins and it beeps, then there's something wrong, you know. Now these here, there should be, I would say there could be one on this one, and there may or may not be one on this one that beeps. As long as it's a power one, I won't worry about it, but I don't want to poke myself. Okay, there's one. But they are wide off, so that would make sense. And the power's power, and ground is ground. So, you know, I mean, all the yellow ones should be 12 volts. They should be, unless they've changed, unless they're just use those, and the server actually doesn't. It's gonna. I'm sure it's using 12 volts. I can't see a video card running off of 5 volts or anything. Oh, I got one. That one. But if I have a ground ringing or something like that, then I'm worried. Okay, now that power is not connected to, well, it's not connected to anything if it falls loose. That power is not connected to, let's see, no, that power. I would think they wouldn't, you know, there's going to be situations here where they don't transfer through. Let's see. Okay, the red one, let's do it. It should, oh, that's the orange one. It should only go to the orange one. Oh, that one jumps over the Molex, okay. That's probably a sense wire for that SATA cable. So I can see physically that it jumps over the Molex, and I don't know what order they're supposed to be in, so I wouldn't be doing myself any good to try to. Now the red one, that's the one underneath. I guess I can flip it. Yeah, that'll be better. So the red one should go to, there's a red one on here. Yep, there's a red one on the Molex. And it shouldn't beep anywhere else. Okay. Now the next one is ground. It should be beeping on the grounds. Oh, I didn't finish. Make sure it doesn't, the red one doesn't beep where it shouldn't. That would definitely, yeah, there we go. Definitely be a short. Okay, good. Okay, now, this in there. Now we should hit it on the ground. Let's just go through these grounds and see what we get. Yep, there's one. Yeah, they are kind of separated out. Now that one's ground. I think that's it. Ow! It's the ground. So I haven't lost my. No, it's not beeping on that ground, but it does on this main connector. So one thing about the server, you know, it has all these self-test things, and I think what it would do is not boot. There it goes. Not send power to down this line if it sensed something was wrong. I hope. That, I mean, like I said, I've been watching Morton. He does things that are kind of scary sometimes. You know, like just he'll modify a cable and put it in there and see what happens. You know. Okay, that one didn't ever beep on anything, I don't think, or did it? I was talking. Let's see. There we go. And I forgot to go to all of the pins. Some of them are empty, like down here on this one, but I'm farsighted, and I for some reason I keep getting closer these days. It actually makes it worse. I used to see so good. I never needed glasses. These are just magnifying glasses, but I think I'm going to have to. Well, I was going to go to the eye doctor, but I haven't made it yet. So I may have to get glasses. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and I don't believe you can. I can. I'll try it. I don't think. Let me see how big that. I'll just grab the magnifying glasses. Yeah, you're not going to get those probes to connect to anything in there. They're tiny little holes, pinholes for the pins up in there. Okay, so I think it's okay to use it. But first I want to, yeah, okay. The thing is, I don't want to just, same thing with the new power supplies. I'm going to do sort of a test and turn up procedure that I'm making up here as I go here. I'm going to, well, there's no sense. That thing was so fiddly to wrap up. I'll do it again. I guess I'll put that right there. Well, actually, put it out of my way more. Oh, I should put those little deals back on those things. Actually didn't really end up needing them off. But I thought, because these didn't really go, they just barely made it in far enough to make a connection. They didn't, I don't think they needed the covers off. Let's see. So, oops. Well, good job, Don. Put that there. Trying to get things into place. I want to still be able to get to them, but I don't want them, you know, where I can't do anything. Well, I'm going to take the cover off the server next. These cables. Do that. Now, see, I want to start it up, and I want to try to connect to the. I'm zoomed in. I want to try to connect to the ILO if I can, because I got to thinking I had thought I would boot it up to Party Magic or something that checks your hardware and everything. That has some apps to check your hardware, and then I remembered that I don't think it showed the voltages. There wasn't anything I had that would show the voltages. I already did it on this before, but I want to make sure everything's good with it. With these power supplies that came with it, again, then I'm gonna, and if I can see the voltages and the amps that they put out, like in the ILO adapter or the BIOS, either one, I'll try the ILO, and if I can't connect to it, I'll just do it on BIOS, but I'll have to just put get this plugged in so that I can think. Oh, I'm doing this twist. I'm trying to kind of tangle the cables a little bit, and okay, there we go. Got to put them in there right. Make sure they're still snapped in good. Anyway, one way or the other, I think I can get into something to see the voltages. Okay, I got Ethernet there. Oh, that's ILO. Okay, and I got Ethernet there. So, yeah, I had to make sure my cables, and it's a good thing I did. Wore me out, but I needed my cables. Let's see. Yeah, I need the USB and the VGA. This, I have a KVM switch I can go to for one of any 4 different machines by switching the switch. But actually, well, I'll plug it in so I won't forget here in a little bit, but can't see. Kind of meant to change the camera angle or something so that I could show, but you know, if you're watching this video like this and you've done this kind of thing enough times, this cable is actually in bad shape. One of the wires are breaking inside, one or more, and so it generally, sometimes it'll work if you twist the cable just right, but it won't stay, and you know, you can't get it to stay in that position, and then everything will go purple. But it does give you you can read it. And so if I have to go in the BIOS, we may have a purple BIOS, but there we go. Okay, my rocking workbench. Okay, now, yeah, I guess I'll have to get out the. Oh, that's what I need. I believe I got in the BIOS when I first got it, and I reset the ILO passwords and stuff. But let's see if I wrote them down. I mean, I'm sure I did, but I don't remember seeing, you know, that information lately. Let's see. HP. I've got quite a few desktops, 3 laptops. One of them has a broken screen, so I got lots of passwords and years of. I've been messing with computers pretty much every day for the last 22 years, so you know, I've acquired things here and there. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I've dug through this stuff recently. Now it could be that they're just stuck together or something. It's probably one sheet. The ones that have been changed enough times, I go ahead and keep the old one, mark it out, say changed, and stick them together. You know, so. So sometimes the ones that are brand new and only one sheet get lost, kind of stick to the others. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know what I've done with it. So I know I had to have written it down somewhere and I don't like to put that stuff. If it's passwords that aren't like some important thing, I'll save them digitally. But normally I write them down. So that, you know, even if it's on your computer and your computer gets hacked, then they're going to get that stuff. So I don't put it in my computer. And if they get in your house to look at your stuff you wrote down, you got more worries probably than that. Anyway, all right. So I'm just going to open up the ILO. I may have to go into BIOS first. We'll see. If I don't know what I changed, I know I put it somewhere. Can't think of anywhere else I would have put it. I might have it in another place and didn't realize it. Probably what I did. But I'm not going to sit here forever looking through papers. I can just go in the BIOS and change it again. Or I think you can see it. I can see it. And I don't. We'll see if it's going to show up where I won't show that. I might not want to put the camera on the screen. The camera I'll have to move. Probably that camera that's on the box. I'll move it around where it's pointing at the screen if I have to go in the BIOS. So let's first get on the desktop. Let me switch to the SM58. Okay, and yeah, we're going to need the web browser, so I'll go ahead and open it up. Oh, I see a little green light on inside the side of the case, too. That must have to do with Ethernet, because that's the only thing that's lighting up right now. Well, no. I think that's the ILO adapter. Because I know, yeah, it's right in that general area. Yeah, if I can't, I guess I'll look in my folder. First, let's go look at the, I think the previous session was my live stream, so. Yeah, it says off before it comes on. I'm like, oh, look at the, but the previous session was my live. Okay, so. Just put it back over there, so it won't be, I'm going to need the browser, but if I get off that preview page, it won't be overworking the machine. Okay. Yeah, I'll look in my, there it is, the folder's still open. So I'm just going to search in this folder for ILO. User guide. Okay, well, I think I have two of them because one of them I renamed and the other one I didn't. I think it already opened up. Yep. Oh, that was my search. Okay. I forgot I did a search. Yeah, okay. I've ended up with more than one copy in there. Sometimes I do that. Let's see what if I've forgotten. I think all you really need to do is plug in your cable to the ILO adapter and make sure you're on the same subnet, the same network. And setting up ILO. And it's already been set up, and I went in there and changed. And I left the old users in there too. I think I made one for me, but I changed the passwords because I was afraid that there might be some extra, paid for functions in there that there was a license for in there, and if I deleted those users, I might lose that. So I didn't want to delete those users. I might take away any features I might have in there, because that's how they do this stuff. They give you some real basic features, and then I'm kind of trying to read while I'm jabbering here. Web interface, there we go. Oh yeah, the browser, that's what I got into the last time. I think the problem was I didn't have a web browser that would have the old Java that would work. I've seen Martin says every time we're going to have to get the old, he'll tell you what version of Java you need for that particular machine, And so he saves old versions of Java. I've still got stuff like that on. I think that kind of stuff, like old versions of Java from 2010, would probably be, since I haven't used Windows since 05 hardly at all. I used to save every time I installed Java or anything. But I had a 60 gigabyte hard drive that I messed up. I plugged I had it in a hard drive adapter, and it was my backup drive, and plugged it in. I was trying to plug it in without looking. It was sitting down there under my desk, plugged into close to the power supplies and the power strips. And I was trying to plug it in backwards. Didn't want to go in, so I pushed harder, and then I got some magic smoke. So I still got it because I thought one day I might find. I'm sure the disk is fine. It was a good working hard drive. If I could find that exact model, take the circuit board off of it and put it on this one, then I should be able to get it back. But I never have. Didn't want to go. Back then it was be too much money to buy one just for that. So, but now they're $10, $15. Saw about that the other day. I thought I ought to just buy a used, even a new old stock used, whatever, just as long as it works. Yeah, okay, see Internet Explorer. It does say it uses Firefox ESR 10. That's a different version of Firefox that's, I think, supposed to be lighter weight. You can I don't know if I have that. Let's see. On here, but I've seen it. Yeah, I just have the one. Well, now that's an older version because this one that I'm always using, that is the standalone version. So I don't think I've ever installed Firefox ESR, but I could probably do that. Let's see, those are old, 10 to 24, and well, I just got an update, and I didn't look, but we are running Firefox 77 right now, so yeah, it's a little old. I tried going into my WinXP virtual machine and open up Internet Explorer, but it still couldn't. Well, it couldn't connect because it's on a 10 dot. It will connect to this machine, but it can't connect to other machines because it's on a 10 dot. It won't get a normal IP address. It gets a 10 dot, which is local, but it will connect to the host machine, but not to other machines on the network. And I've forgotten. I tried to do it, and then I remembered. But see, it says right there about using Java. And you have to use cookies. You got to allow pop-up windows. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. So no wonder I would have had trouble. Oh, there's the. Oh, okay. This part I didn't see before. Enter HTTPS, ILO host name. Well, is there a space? It wouldn't be a space in there. I guess it's just, and I don't think they mean for you to use those triangle brackets. So I guess it's just, and look at there, it's capital L-O. ILO, I don't know if that's how you need to type it or not. Sometimes you do. Username and password and check in. Passwords are case sensitive. Probably not the address. But usernames are not case sensitive. Okay. Okay. Okay, I always wanted to learn about that Keybrose network setting, but I never did. I installed it a few times, but I never learned how to use it. Yeah, you're going to have to accept the certificate. I guarantee you we'll get one of those in Firefox. Power, UID, language, health. Oh, let's see if it even has the voltage and watts in there. I don't know because the stuff Morton usually does. Let's see. No, he did do that in another, about the same age of a HP server the other day. It did show that kind of stuff. This, I'm going to see if I can even get it to come up, but, you know, I would still have to go into BIOS to change the passwords if I don't remember where they are. I don't know. I'm not remembering right now what they are, would be. Okay, I'm not going to go on to that anymore. Let's go back up there so I can remember that address part. Yeah, I didn't know how that you had to put ILO in front of it. I'm going to copy it and paste it. I think it's IL. It looks like O, not 0. So, but it could be 0. And then the IP address. Well, I can find the IP address. Let's see if I'm getting an IP address on my. The ILO may already have an IP address in my router. I don't know if I even ever saw its IP address last time. Make sure I'm on the desktop. Yep, on the desktop. Okay. Now then, we want to go to connected clients. Dell should be down here in the bottom. Let's see. Hewlett Packard, there's one of them. There might be two. I don't know if it gets an IP until you boot up on the other one. Let's see. Yeah, there's one up there. That's the ILO. It says it. Cool. And that's the machine. Okay. So you can't. This stupid. That's just the way that thing does. Okay, 192. Yeah, I'm gonna copy the IP address. Not. I can type out ILO. Let's see. I'm going ahead and reserve the IP address that it's got, so that I don't have to. If I don't do it now, I'm liable to. No parental controls. Let's see. Oh, take effect. Yeah, okay. But it won't reboot the router or anything. I just remembered, oh crap, you're going to reboot the router. And I think I'll go ahead and do that. Well, I'll do that later. So let's try to go. I don't see how you just do ILO. You should be doing, I'll try it and see, but finding the site. Okay. I better make sure it says HTTP. Well, I'll try the way it's spelled there. I will copy it again. Okay, but normally when you do something like that, you're going to need something in between the host. I've never seen anything have a prefix to a host name like that. So that's really throwing me off. Let's see. Yeah, you can't click on. I was thinking, what can you click on that to connect it? No. Okay, so, but I've never had a HP server before, so yeah, it took away the capital letters, but it is ILO, the letter O, not the number. Now let's see if I need to put. It didn't help. And it may be doing that because I don't have the right version of Java and all that stuff. I don't have Java on here. Yeah, that's right. I don't have Java in this machine. But I can play most JavaScripts. Websites don't hardly ever malfunction saying Java error or anything. It's got some open source Java playing stuff in it. Didn't say what port. Now that was the thing I was looking for is, okay, what port? But it doesn't say you need a port. It's this part. But it does say about the browser support. I'm going to give myself a screenshot of that. And I'm wondering if I might have actually. The only thing that mentioned, well, see all these screenshots I have in here? I'm wondering if I might have screenshotted them, those passwords. No, I couldn't because I was doing it with the camera pointed at the screen. Yeah, I never got them. I never got into the ILO. Okay, so this is going to be another one of those learning curve deals where I'm going to have to figure it all out. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is I might have to use my laptop. That's my server. It does have Windows XP on it, but it won't. It's so messed up. It won't. It's so slow you can't use it. But I've scanned it several times, and it doesn't have anything that's showing up in it, but the virus-wise and all that. But it might be. It's been so long. It might be that I cleaned it up and broke some things and never did. You know, I wasn't using it hardly at all, and I didn't mess with it. But then when I turned it into my server, one day I was like, "Oh heck, that's got dual. It's a dual boot," you know. So I looked to see what else was on there, and it was XP. So then it would be, you know, an XP with Internet Explorer and the old version of Java. I probably, I don't know if I have any that old, but well, I could. Oh yeah, Firefox ESR. That would be my best bet. It just says unless. Okay, now I didn't do that. Wasn't thinking. That maybe I'm all wrong about. I hardly ever use those triangle brackets. I never can remember where they are. Let me find them. But yeah, I never tried. I never saw this section before. I don't know how I found it so quick and easy just now, but there they are. We did. Oh, just above the comma and the. Let's see, shift. Maybe that is actually how you're supposed to do it. Just above the comma and the period. Did you mean ILO in a space? I don't know, did I? Let's find out. No. Well, now I'm finding that information. I think I'll. Yeah, okay, here's some online. I'm going to put it in my bookmarks so if I can find it again, it might be handy. Unable to find the ILO. Not 128 bit or higher. Well, I know it is. My Firefox. Well, there's no telling what all you have to go into. I just would like to know the address. For sure, how the syntax of the IP address. Well, see if that looks any different than the PDF. Yeah, I don't really remember ever really seeing the triangle brackets used in any kind of URL. So that's why I figured they were doing it like most people use the quotations when they say, you know, fill in this part in here. But it says ILO with a space and then the host name. So it's the only other thing I could try. Let's see. I don't think those brackets go in there. Did I try? I don't know if I tried the space or not. But no, that just gives me a Google search. So, yeah, at least I know now that there's a different way of. Wait a minute. Could it be ILO, host name, or IP address? Maybe I'm making it harder than it should be. Okay, that didn't do it. Let's try the IP address all by itself. I figured there was a special port, not port 80, you know, originally. But I guess that's why I never could. I don't believe I remember ever finding a port. So reserved MAC address. What happened to? Oh, that's fine. ILO.org. That could end up being interesting. I don't know if there's anything open source about it. Sometimes people get .org websites and they're not actually an open source project. There we go. I was reading it wrong. So Firefox detected something that could be a threat. It's my server. Or more, go back, advanced. Now, the website. Gonna do me some screenshots on that. So I was overcomplicating the thing. That doesn't mean I'll be able to read it, but at least I can talk to it. Let's see. I want to put in an exception. Oh, there it is down there. You can view the certificate if you want to. Oh, it didn't work. Okay. That's okay. Okay, view the exception. Put in an exception. Okay, it still failed. I think I might have got this for before. Incorrect message authentication code. Well, so yeah. Okay. Well, I've already read that before at some point. So I'm not going to worry about that anymore right now. Let me go back to my dashboard and switch. Once that gets up, I'll switch. I'll go ahead and switch mics. Okay, because I'm going to have to get up and move the camera and stuff, and then I'll just boot it up. Okay. That's a lot smaller looking in this browser. Okay, because I'm going to have to get up laptop. And move the camera and stuff, and then I'll just boot it up. Okay. So I can close my ILO thing. The BIOS, let's see. I'm pretty sure I remember how to get into BIOS, but actually maybe I'm not pretty sure. Server guide, server user guide. Probably the user guide would be the one to get into for that. It's going to be F8, I think it might be F8. But it could be F, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know F8 gets you into one of the things you need. Oh, here's some of them right there. Booting options, okay. RBSU. Access RBSU. What is RBSU? I can't remember. That might be where I want to go. F9, F10, boot menu, F11, just like a regular machine, and force Pixie boot F12. Okay, the network. Pixie boot's network boot. I call it Pixie PXE. Oh, Serial Console allows you to configure the serial port to view post error messages and run RBSU remotely through the serial connection to the server COM port. Well, I'm not hooking up a serial connection. I don't have any of that on this Lenovo. I do have machines with that, but I wouldn't pull that. That'd be above my pay grade. I can't remember. I used, years ago, I set up, game controllers and different things, modems and, all that stuff back in Windows 3.1 and 98, but a long time ago. Seems that RBSU is all about the memory. I remember I had to send my videos. I had to watch my own video again, I guess. I saw a bunch of that stuff the other day. I think I took screenshots of that. What have I done over here? No, I'm still on the desktop. Okay, I just thought, oh, have I got off of the desktop? Advanced ECC memory. Calling dim. Oh, okay. When a prompt appears, RBSU may access RBSU by pressing F9. Select menu options, advanced memory detection, advanced ECC memory, enter, escape. Configuring online spare memory. Ooh. Oh, I don't think they mean on the internet. I was like, what? You share memory across the internet? Array configuration. Yeah, I got in there before too. I didn't never do it, but I get figured out how to do it. But sometimes I just do those screenshots because I can look through those and then I can tell me what to go back and look at. You know. Okay, that's going into the RAID setup. So. ROM-based setup utility. There you go. Oh, okay, that's what RBSU is. I was just below where it introduced it. Yeah, ROM-based setup utility. So there's a ROM chip on there that's containing this. Yeah, this is where I want to go. Okay. But somehow I was down into the memory options section. Okay. And to get in there, you want to do F9. Oh, it saves settings when you hit enter key. The utility does not prompt you for, oh, okay. Select a different setting and press enter. That's weird. Glad I saw that. Kind of brings a bell. I think I had trouble. I was like, well, how do you save this stuff, you know? Because when I was changing passwords and stuff, I had a hard time getting it to save. I remember that. Okay, so it wasn't doing the auto configuration because it's, you know, it used to be a production machine, you know, in a company somewhere. Orca, that's the boot configuration utility. And now we're getting back to that. I wanted to have those, all the different options. Okay, so I think I will leave that to where I can get to it again in case I forgot, you know, any of that. And before I get out of here, let's see. Uh-oh. I've got the mic sitting up there on the desk. Never moved it over here, sorry. So, yeah, you can turn your volume down, back down to normal now. You can probably hear me off in the distance there. I had a feeling something was wrong a minute ago, but I didn't see that. So when I went to switch mics, I forgot to move the SM58 back up, you know, swing the boom back around to me. So, so I'm going to get, okay, I want to look at those screenshots for a minute, but I know, well, I'm just going to look through them right quick before I don't know if those passwords might be in there. And, I don't want to show those, you know. I don't think they are, but I think it's just general stuff that's in here. I'm looking at them right now. That's where I bought the power supplies, and Oh yeah, I was looking at USB cables. Ended up not buying one. I was a long USB cable to go to my KVM switch. I was thinking I was going to put it under the bed, and I needed like a 8 foot of cable. You know, get like a 10-foot cable. But I decided that, you know, it'd really be silly to run it under the bed. Number one, for me, I'd always have to stick my head and face down there to turn it on every day because I'm not going to run it all. You know, 24/7 is too much noise and heat for me in here. That's why I had thought of might put it in the garage. But it gets so hot these days, especially. We never know when we might have a week or two of 105 to 110 degrees, and they're not meant to run in that much heat. More like they could handle 90, I think, okay, maybe 100, but so I don't want to ruin it, you know. And I think I've ruined 2 routers leaving them out there. Even when they're not on, I think it ends up killing them because first one I left it running for quite most of the, you know, anytime I wanted to, I might let it run for several months and forget about it that it's still running. And usually I just turn it on when I want to go out. I put one out there as a wireless repeater so I can have internet out there. And I forgot to keep looking at stuff. Oh, port 85. KVM or ILO documentation. Port 85 and ILO messages. I don't know what that's about, but it says port 85. That's probably where I got an idea that I needed to use a different port. But I was able to talk to it on port 80, but I couldn't log in. System maintenance switch. ILO on and off and stuff. These are screenshots that I saved. Okay, now here's one, RBSU, yeah. There's a little bit of picture of the BIOS in there, the RBSU. I think that's what the BIOS is called. It's called RBSU. But, so, yeah, I'll have to probably don't tell them what kind of ninja hacks I'll have to do to get me an old browser. I mean, I might be able to install that Firefox ESR and it'll just work. I'll try that, but first I want to. Yeah, there's screenshots of when I tried to connect it on my WinXP virtual machine and it didn't work. So, wasn't anything in there. Wouldn't have helped me to see the. I can't even get to the page to try and log in, so it wouldn't have helped me to see the login page. But so what I will do then is, yeah, I'll just leave it on that camera. Yeah, miss. Are you working? Are you working? I've got them both working. I've got them both working. Okay, now. Can't seem to mash the buttons right. Okay, so I'll, I hate messing around with the, but I'm going to have to do something about having a way to just always monitor my stream because it's just crazy to open and close the browser all the time. It's so slow doing that. But every time I switch mics, if I don't check, that's the time when, you know, it didn't work. And even if you got sometimes you'll have a signal, but you won't click on the wrong link. You'll have a signal, but you won't have when I'm showing that camera, aren't I? Well, I'm not going to switch now. Sometimes you'll have a signal that, yeah, there we go. You'll have a signal in the OBS, but you won't have one. It's actually not working, you know, sometimes. Not too often, but sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move the other tripod over there. Yeah, the camera. And aiming at my monitor. Let's see. It's pretty well wedged in there. Let's see. If I can get, yeah, the legs will fold up. It's not too bad. Luckily, I'm not doing it on camera. I've had the forethought not to do that this time. Okay, so There we go. I think I can go a little lower than that. Probably no lower than that. Now if I get it centered up pretty well, then I should be able to zoom in on it with my remote and be the first time I've done that with this new camera. We'll see how it works out. So we'll get on that. Now, nice picture of the back of my head. There we go. I went too low. Well, that's delayed. Oh, wait. You know, this camera doesn't look like it's going to want to do that very well. Guess we'll see. Once you get, if you get mostly just the monitor in the picture though, that's when it starts working, so we'll see. Yeah, I want to go back up higher, so I'm not looking at the back of my head in the picture. It sure is crooked. Let's try turning it. Oops, forgot. Yes, we're on camera. That does make it look a little straighter. This is really a it is a tripod, but it's a tripod for a light, not a camera. So it's not, you know, it's not made for this heavy of a thing. Well, that's pretty decent as far. I mean, it's pretty decent as far as the fitting the screen, but it's not decent. Oh, I think it's zoomed in all the way. Yeah, that's as far in as it'll go. But that should work. On my phones it works, but it's not working. And I can't change the lighting on the camera on the USB mode. I can try and fix it. And it's either switched to the phone, but they when you zoom in with them, they're really grainy because they're only 2 megapixel, and you can't read it. So I'm going to try to. I guess I will. My chair's not on the right leg. That'll keep it from wanting to turn over on me. I wouldn't want to turn over and land on that tripod and mess break my new camera. Okay, but yeah, that's not. So the light. Yeah, this camera has a really lousy. It really does have a really lousy light adjustment. Well, you know what? In USB mode, I don't know that hardly any of that light. I know the settings that you do in the camera, they'd change nothing on USB mode. The way I got the colors to be okay and everything was in USB. In the camera. Oh, that's right. I have to do that with the phones, but I do it remotely through the web interface. Yeah, they don't do it automatically. I have to turn the brightness down. So filters. I've seen people do this sometimes, this kind of thing, you know, in a live video. So let's see if I can do it without. Thing. There we go. I guess I can try and let's see. Yeah, I can show what I'm doing. One way or the other here. Okay, I'll switch. Oh no, I can't do it that way. I can do that when I'm doing it with the web interface on the other cameras. I can do that, but I can't do that. I can't show you what I'm doing because I have to be on this camera to see if it's working or not. You know, it's USB. So okay, it's on 0. No plus or minus on the brightness. I should just have to. Oh, you can't adjust it. Well, oh, yes, you can. It just wasn't grabbing it. So I should just be able to go down on the brightness. It's not working. It didn't work at all. Well, I did not expect that. I figured it would work. I thought it might do it by itself. But You can make it black, you can make it blue. I'm afraid I'm gonna. Oh yeah, this is a USB camera I'm messing with. Forgot. And it didn't freeze it up, so I can't use it like that. It looks to me like it would be somewhat readable. Well, no, it's not going to be readable. I can, even if you got the lighting, you know, if you like, I'm not going to fill it. I might fiddle around with the contrast and all that stuff, and it might start trying to work. Well, I guess it won't hurt to try it since it didn't lock it up. So, trying to get this thing out of the way. Get on my filters. Oh no, I can't see everything. I'm gonna say the contrast. No, that didn't help. As I was doing it, I thought, wait a minute, I think gamma would be more like it. I do think I need less brightness. Let's see. Let's try that first. Try a whole bunch. It doesn't go. It doesn't move like most of those sliders do. Yeah, it would never get. That just made it look like a custom Windows desktop or something. I remember those little weird colors they had back in 3.1. Okay, so, well, I did not know that. So that was a waste. Okay. This camera here, I can do it. What was I going to try to do? I mean, I hate to do all that in that whole time just talking about it, but the BIOS and everything. But you can't read it, though. I can just, you get the general idea of what I'm doing. So there's really not a lot of point in that. Oh, I can hold that. If I hold the, I can't hold still though. If I hold the camera and don't zoom in, it's the zoom. You know, the digital zoom, it gets grainy when you use the digital zoom. And if I don't use digital zoom, but instead use, I'm trying to get this camera back where it was. That's really not the way I had it before. Ow! Hit myself in the head with the handle of my tripod. Okay, now. There we go, finally. Made it crooked, made the whole thing crooked. I'm trying to get the camera back where it was. I don't know that it matters. Oh, I need to stand where I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I got out of the shot, didn't I? Okay, so, but you definitely wouldn't want to see what was going on with this camera. Like I did a minute ago. There. Okay. One good thing, the little screen makes it easier to aim it. If you don't break things, anyway. There we go. Is it zoomed in still? I think it's still zoomed in. Yep, it was zoomed in. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to leave it there so I can show the general idea. Okay, so what I'll do is grab the, let's see, I might be able to grab the, yeah, I'll get on the desk, aim it at the monitor, I guess. I know what I was saying. I started to say, well, maybe I can hold it, but all I'll do is shake it, to shake the camera, you know. So I can, since the server's where it's sitting where it is, I can actually, this other tripod, it's really a mic stand, has 1, 2, 3, it had 5 legs and 2 of them are broke off, so it won't stand up unless it's leaning against something. but that actually I have going on here with that server where it is. I can put it beside me and it'll be a skewed view, but better than putting it behind. I won't have to zoom in, I don't think, and so then it'd be better than behind me and zooming in and getting super. I have done that. I put over here on my desk when I don't have. That's something I got to hold the camera right now, so I can't. Okay, what do I want to be on here? Oh, I want to be on this camera and just aim it at the screen. And then I can get on the desktop and fix the lighting and all that. But if I put it here, about even with my head, and then angle towards the screen, maybe it will work enough. We'll see. I'm still gonna have to zoom in some. Yeah, I can't stand it behind me. I just remembered because it won't stand up by itself. So it's still not close enough. And see, it needs to be in front of my nose, and you know, you can't do that. So I'll leave it like that. There's an angle. If I tried to like lean it up against my chair, I would forget and turn everything over and jump up. So now, I guess we'll get over here and what mic am I on now? Okay, SM58. I'm not staying on any one mic long enough to make it worth all that switching, am I? Usually I'd stay long enough that it's a good. I like doing it. But yes, am I on the desktop now? Yeah. Okay, so I'm on the desktop, and see what I can do is let's get that out of the way. Now I can see it, and I can fix the lighting. Well, first let's zoom in. You can zoom in however much you need to. Whoops. And it's a little high, but I think I'll leave it and just angle at it. Yeah, there we go. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to see. It's already. Sometimes it's fairly well okay. I guess I don't know if it's because I'm off at angle or. I guess I'll leave it right there. That way, you'll be able to see. I could even maybe zoom in more, but I don't really need to change. I can change the exposure. Yeah, that's the one I do, exposure compensation. Usually I do about just -3, 4, or 5, so that's about right, I think. So it's getting too dark on the outer edges. Actually, the zero change is really better overall, I think, at this particular time at night and everything. When the sun shines through the windows, when you really got to do that. But so I'll just do that same old thing. I thought that was one of the reasons I bought the camera is because I wanted one with optical zoom, and I just didn't want to spend. Well, I could go jump up from 110 to 300 for some of the Sonys and Canons and stuff, the lower end ones, really. Well, they weren't. Let's see. Yeah, they had some DSLRs though for that. They didn't that I saw. They weren't just point and shoots, and but they didn't have any USB output, or if some of them had Wi-Fi, but it was only just the remote control stuff. So, oh yeah, I was checking USB. Okay, so get off of that. Yeah, I'll leave that open. I might have to go back and look at it. So F9 is what I want. Okay, F9. Make sure everything looks okay on here on the resource usage. Okay, so now I'm going to get on camera 1. And it's kind of delayed. Oh, it's delayed real bad. Sometimes it starts acting up. Well, maybe if I switch earlier today when I started, it was doing that kind of thing, and then I switched and it came back. So the other one okay? Yep, it's okay. It's one reason why I decided to. I was always running two. Yeah, there we go. I was always running two Wi-Fi cameras, a Wi-Fi mic, and I would sometimes have a lot of trouble with that sort of thing. Not just audio and video being out of sync, but actual. Let me get on the right switch on the KVM. Let's see. Oh, it's the last one. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to get up and go around there, I guess. And I won't try to show that. Just do it. Okay, we're booting up. I want to kind of look at the front for a bit. I should have stayed on the wireless mic. Well, I'm not seeing anything on the screen yet, but it is. Sometimes it's really, really slow to boot, especially I guess when they've been unplugged for a while. Making some noise. Oh yeah, there's a cursor up there. Yeah. Making some noise that I don't remember it making. It sounded like hard drive making noise, but now it sounds closer to the back. So I'm wondering if it's a fan. Now there's the pink and purpley pink color you get from that bad cable. One or I don't know how many of the the wires are broken inside the insulation of the Jeep. Let's see. Oh yeah, you got to hit F9. Might have already missed it. No, I don't think I missed it yet. Press any key to view option ROM messages. Yeah, I pressed F9, so I just hit the space bar. Got it just in time. Integrated lights out. The noise has gotten a little better, but it's making a noise that I don't remember. But it may be the fans, been setting. F8, I didn't hit anything because I was talking, and I can't read and talk at the same time. I should have known better. I think it's too late now. It's distracting me out, that noise. Oh, oops. You got to go fast to get that bunch. Okay, it did go. It's in there. Yeah, it's in the BIOS, the ROM-based setup utility. Okay, so, and it fits the screen. The first time I put it up, it wouldn't fit the screen. It was all off the screen. I couldn't read the menus, and I finally turned out that my monitor was just not auto-fitting, like it was supposed to. I think sometimes it seems to turn itself off. I don't mess with the buttons much at all. Anyway, one way or the other, I did it. Or by accident. Yeah, there's a noise that makes me kind of something humming. I don't know if it's a hard drive or one of the fans, you know. But I put it under the bed. I got off from that. I thought, you know, where's the dustiest place? Under the bed, and so it will be sucking dust through it, and then blowing dust all over the room. Those fans are powerful when they ramp up. So I thought that's not a good idea. So I'm going to put it in the rack once I get it all up and going. But let's see. Yeah, system options, power management, PCI device and enable disable, standard boot order, boot control order, date and time, server availability, server security, BIOS serial console. Oh, that's what I was reading about. Server asset text. I may want to shut it down and see what I think. Well, actually, I really didn't want to open the lid with it running, but I don't even know if it'll shut it down or something. No, there's no electronics in that lid. Advanced options, system default options, utility, language, and then go back up to the system options. You see, I'm glad I booted this up before I went and put new parts in it again, because it's been 10 months since I booted it up, I think. I think so. Because I looked at the last video I made when I started messing with it again. Yeah, that's not normal, so I'm going to, let's see, how do you get out of there and shut it down? I stayed over there longer because I thought, well, I'm going to watch the lights on the front, and then I noticed power supply 1, the light was on, but 2 didn't, and then I thought, wonder if the cable's, not connecting good or something. That thought of it right away because that's what happened to Morton the other day, and I've had that happen a lot. Some of these, AC power cables, just the connectors are too loose and they just don't make good connection. But I kind of wiggled it and it didn't come on. And then I looked at the back and both of the lights are on. So I guess that's how it actually works. But I can leave it in BIOS. Just leave it right here. But it's not ramped up on the fans, but something is making a pretty good humming noise. I'm trying to get back to I'm trying to get to the wrong one. Okay, now back to my control center here. There we go. Okay, so first I'm driving myself crazy here with my mics. Get back on the other one. See, when I walked around there, I should have been on the wireless mics. That's what they're for. So I kind of hate to stay on the wireless too long because sometimes they quit on me and I don't know it. Sometimes the phones will act up, the phone acts up. Well, I've used phone 3 and phone 2 different times. Actually, one time I actually had some audio set up for the 10-inch tablet too. I've used it before. But you might be able to, I don't know if you can hear that. Maybe if I get over there and get closer, you can hear it. I'm going to see if I can open the lid with it running, and the fans might ramp up. I don't think that's, only thing it would probably do. So, I want to get on the other camera so we can see the machine. Okay, now move this chair to where I can get in and out of here. Yeah, I think it's a hard drive. Yep. You might be able to hear it if I put one of these. I have 2 mics, so if I put one. I don't see any warning lights. Let me get over here and look. If there's any. There's 0 warning lights on. And I've got hung up on stuff. But yeah, one of those drives is making noise. Well, that'd be great. I've never even used them yet. They didn't do that before that I remember. But maybe it's just tired of sitting for 10 months and it'll take a while to
Yeah, there's 0 warning lights on. Everything looks good. When I touch the little front of the drives, kind of gets a little quieter. But it doesn't go away. It did make a difference. The release latch is what I was doing. 146 gigabyte drives, that's what it has. SAS drives, 8 of them. But I have, well, Morton again. I've seen it in other videos too, but they say that these drives are notorious for failing. But I figured, well, you know, it was a good. I got the thing for just $300, you know, like a few cents less. But now it's kind of, fans are ramping up. And now my mic doesn't want to go back where I had it. There we go. I was going to go ahead and open the door, I think. I don't know if that's going to help me now. I know it's the hard drives now. I was afraid it was. I don't know for sure. Let's get over here and look. Take this. It might really ramp up because it's not getting the right airflow. Oh, maybe it was one of the fans. See if there's any of them not spinning or anything. Yeah, that's what I started thinking. I better investigate this. Yeah, it was a fan. I can hear. They also. I can tell by that sound now. Yeah, so it wasn't a hard drive making the noise. That one's spinning. That one's spinning. And they just need to. There may be dust in them. Even though I had it closed, you know, dust can get dang near anywhere. You can get these fans reasonably cheap. Used ones anyway. Yeah. It's getting a little better now. But while it's open, there's a connector right in there. It's not helping any, is it? I don't know if it might be actually helping. Can't tell, but right there where my finger is pointing, that's where my connector that I'm going to use is. I'm not going to just hurry up and stick that as much, you know, as anxious as I was. I kind of think it's hard about everything else. I knew better than to just pop it in there. So since it's not a machine I've ever even installed anything on yet or anything, I've ran it and gotten the BIOS and stuff, but that's all I've done. So I think I can just put the lid back on it with it running. And of course the lid has a lot of instructions. I ran into the camera. Let's see. Oh yeah, you don't tilt it in, you kind of set it down. I always think you gotta do it kind of more like a desktop, you know, tilt it in there. I mean, you do, but you don't. There, so you gotta do that. You don't tilt it too much, it won't go down. And you'll be like, what the heck? Now it should quieten down a little bit after I got the door on there and everything. But the both power supply lights are on. But there's only one showing. I guess it's showing you which one's in use. But there's only one on number 1 in the front. No yellow lights, nothing else. Yeah, it's that the fans have quit making that noise now. But I may want to buy a fan or two and keep them in stock here before long. Well, we'll see. Okay, so yeah, but it's louder. I think it's louder in BIOS than it is when you boot it up. Like when I had it booted up to Fedora Live System, it was Like I said, it was actually surprisingly quiet for what you hear, what you hear in the other videos about servers. Well, especially this one, I watched a bunch of videos on it, and people were starting it up. Well, sometimes it would take forever to start up. I guess it's because they made some sort of hardware changes or something. But it normally doesn't. Well, you saw. Well, of course, it's not booted up, but it got into BIOS quick enough. Not much different than a desktop machine. And trying to get my chair situated so I don't turn it over. These legs, these wheels, drives me crazy. I should have. I started to buy a new bottom set. It actually is a new bottom set. I ended up. What happened to it? Something happened to the original one. I know one of the wheels is broke off. Maybe that's it. And I got a welder and I could fix it, but I'm just never up to digging that thing out and doing a project like that. But I keep thinking I'll do it. And so anyway, years ago, that other one wore out, and the legs, and they were metal, and these are plastic. And I bought another chair, same brand, because that's all I could find that would fit it without having to alter the mounting plate. Another project, And I think maybe the mounting plate broke on it is what it was. And so anyway, probably 2 years ago now at least, I found a set of wheels, legs and wheels that was like $39. But I thought, man, I don't spend that much. First time I bought a whole chair, but it was just a plain chair. This was a massage chair and all that stuff. It's the most comfortable chair I've ever had, period. I don't care if it's a lazy boy or what. It's got back support and everything. I've had this thing for at least 15 years, maybe longer, probably longer than that. Not 20, probably about 15 to 18 years. Anyway, these wheels are about, they'll fall out if you pick it up or anything. That's how wallered out they are, And anyway, I didn't want to, kind of hated to spend. I kept, backing down on spending $40 or more for another set of wheels. And I looked at some chairs again, and they're not marking them down to $50 anymore. This brand's it's out of business, so you wouldn't be able to get it anyway. And I don't want to spend $150 for a chair. I paid about $99 for it when I got it, I think, or $125. So I haven't done anything about it. Just crap about it. Yeah, it's getting louder. Maybe because it's still sitting there in BIOS. You can probably hear that on my mic. Okay, now I want to go to cam 1 and switch my deal, my KVM, and actually get in the BIOS. What was I wanting to see? Oh, the fans and the electrical. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Power management options. You think that? Let's do that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to try power management. Power profile, power regulator, redundant power supply mode, advanced power. Okay, let's just look in power profile. Just using the keyboard, to navigate just like normal BIOS. Minimum power usage, maximum performance, custom. Balanced power and performance. Well, that would be what I would want. If you hit enter, I see. In this situation, that's normal for BIOS. You just hit enter to save and get out. But yeah, balanced power and performance. That's what I would do. I want it quiet, but let's see. Minimum power usage would probably be the quietest, but I want it to run good, That's the main reason I bought it, is for the power regulator. Let's see. No, certain processors support only one power state and will always operate at their initial frequency no matter what power is detected. Oh, okay. Dynamic power savings mode, static low power mode, static high performance mode, OS control mode. I'm going to say, wait a minute, dynamic power savings. I don't know which one it's really in. I don't think it, let's see, low power. Let's see if I go back in there. Oh, it stays on the one you're selected on.
So I'm going to put it back on. I want it on dynamic. I think that'll change according to the situation. You know. Redundant power supply, balanced, high efficiency, auto, high efficiency, odd supply, standby, high efficiency mode, even supply, standby. Does that mean that this thing is capable of sharing both power supplies at the same time? Balanced mode, like in balanced mode, that's what it's in. That would have meant I didn't need any new power supplies. I remember Morton mentioning some machines that would do that, but every time he got in there, I don't remember him ever showing one that did. Yeah, I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure it's getting pretty loud because I'm running. It's just sitting here in BIOS. And it's not, you know, it's not. The sensors aren't. The fan sensors aren't operational right now, or they're in like a fail-safe mode, I guess you'd say. I want to put it in auto, but the default, the way it was before, might be better. I don't know. I'm not going to change things up yet. Let's just leave everything where it is for now. Only thing I really wanted to see is if I could see the... I clicked on that without... Yeah, exit will get you... Okay, advanced power management options. Yeah, I don't want to change anything. I'm not advanced in this. I haven't learned it yet. I probably will need to learn this for the GPU, you know, for the video card. Okay, so it's in Intel QPI link power management. Minimum processor idle power state, maximum memory bus frequency, memory interval leaving, PCI Express Generation 2.0 support. I might have to use that for that card. But they're probably past 2.0, I'm going to bet, because, you know, that would have been the newest thing at that time. Maybe the Intel, I don't know, I'm going to leave it on what it's on. That's probably not the default, it's whatever this company that had it before me used, though. What their IT department used. Collaborative power control. Turbo boost. Well, the Intel's, the processors are Intel, so, and that's what it's on, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, in order to get out of there, you have to hit escape. Okay. So I didn't change anything in there. IRQ, I'm not going to mess with that. PCI device, enable, disable. 1 gigabyte adapter. PCIe. Port 1, 2 enabled. I'm going to leave that. Smart array. Everything's enabled. Okay. And the 1 gigabyte adapter, probably, the only thing I know of that's 1 gigabyte in there is the ILO adapter. I mean, the RAID card. The RAID card has 1 gigabyte of cache. I think that's what it's talking about. Standard boot order. CD-ROM, floppy, USB, hard drive, PCI, embedded HP, adapter port. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Embedded HP NC 38 NC 382i PCIe DP multifunction 1 gigabyte adapter port. Now, is that like an NVMe drive thing would be today, but an earlier version of it? So that's what that was talking about, I think, on that previous. I think, let's see, NC382i. Yeah, that's what it was talking about. It's not the RAID. It's something else that I didn't realize it had. I guess it's in there, or you wouldn't be able to enable it, I would think. Okay, boot control order. That's another thing. PCI embedded HP smart array. P410i controller. That's the RAID adapter. Okay. I remember that P410i as soon as I saw it being the RAID adapter, RAID card. It's not a regular PCIe card. It's a card, but it's plugged in to a special connector on the motherboard, and it has a battery, backup battery, and it's it's a one. They have 512 megabytes and 1 gigabytes, and mine is 1 gigabyte. From what I remember. 6/3/2020, so the battery's good. That's today. Time, I don't know. What time is it? Yeah, 12. Well, 12:28 is what I get. 12:28, 12:29. That's 0:43, so it's off. Guess I could go ahead and set the time then. What do we want? 29. Oops. It didn't work. Maybe you just hit numbers. Let's try that. Yep. 12:30. We'll make it 12:30. You just hit the actual numbers on the keyboard. And it doesn't really matter, but I'll put 00. Okay, enter. There we go. Yeah. 30:02. Server availability. ARS status. Thermal shutdown. Wake up on LAN. Power button. Automatic power on. Power on delay. ARS status. Enabled. ASR timeout 10 minutes. I don't know what ASR is. Read down there. It might tell me. Automatic server recovery timeout. Okay, that's what ASR is. Thermal shutdown. Enable. Wake on LAN. Enable. Don't know if I would want it to wake on LAN. Host F1 prompt. Delayed. Leave it there. Power button. Enabled. Yeah. Automatic power button disabled. Yeah. Automatic power on. Power on delay. No delay. Okay. Security, set power on password. I don't want one of those. Admin password, network server mode. Let's see what that is. Okay, that's disabled. Wonder why. I don't really know for sure what that's about, so I'm not gonna do anything with it now. Serial console and EMS. Auto. 9600 baud. EMS console disabled. I don't know what an EMS console is, so I better not mess with it. BIOS interface auto. So that looks like it would work if I tried to get into it. Asset text. Server info. Okay. Primary OS line 1, so and so, so and so. It doesn't really have anything in there. Administrator info text. Oh, you can put stuff in there. Phone number, admin phone number, so and so. Nothing in there. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I wouldn't have never thought of it being in the BIOS, all this stuff, but that's pretty handy. Custom post message. Oh, that'd be fun. Dawn server is now booting. Something a little better than that. Advanced options. System ROM. Video options. Oh no, video options, yes. Don't just run away from advanced because it may be exactly where you need to be. Like just get your video card to boot. Option ROM loading sequence. Load embedded devices first. Yeah. So it may have one in there. Unless that's really just talking about the SD card. There's SD card slot. But you can put a heck of a lot more. I've already put a 32 gigabyte in there and it worked perfectly. That's what I booted it to. Or did I boot it? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did. I remember the video. I watched it the other day. PS table, full APIC, ROM selection, use current ROM, NMI debug button enabled, virtual install disk enabled, PCI bus padding options enabled, power on logo enabled, hide option ROM messages enabled. I'm not sure. I'll leave it as it is. Definitely don't want to make it take even longer to boot up. Okay, I'm just going to escape that because I don't want to mess anything up. Embedded video primary, optional video secondary. Now, right now, I'm going to leave it like that, but when I actually put in that video card, I'll swap it. Optional video primary, embedded video disabled. Well, I'll try not to do that. I'll try to do optional video primary, embedded video secondary, so that if I need to just plug in a VGA cable for whatever reason, if something goes wrong, like say if operating systems, the drivers break something when I install them or something. But right now, I'm going to do it, just leave it like it is. I could swap it, but I might lose my video, and then I couldn't, I don't think I would, but I don't know for sure, so I don't want to take that kind of chance. Yeah. Okay. Thermal configuration, optimal cooling, increased cooling. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to leave it like it is because it wasn't too loud before. Service option, serial number, product ID. All that. I looked at talking about ILO while I was trying to get in there. I did look. You know, I know there's a pullout with the ILO default password, but like I said, I put my own user in there, and there's also 2 or 3 other users in there that. And I changed their passwords, and I don't know where I wrote it down. I can't believe I didn't find that. It's not normal for me for that kind of thing. Advanced performance tuning. HW prefetcher is enabled. Adjustment is a selector. Prefetch is enabled. DCU prefetcher enabled. Data reuse enabled. Node interleaving disabled. QPI bandwidth optimization, RTID. Balanced to 32, 24, 32. That's pretty good measurements. It's really nice measurements, actually. I'm being silly now, lost myself. 32, 24, 32. That's pretty good. I mean, it could be 36. But, hey, I'm not going to be picky. Driver right cache. It's what's on the inside that counts, anyway. And we're going to have one heck of a GPU inside of this one, this girl here. Driver right cache disabled. Drive right cache. That's not the cache for the. I don't think that's the drive, so that's not the cache for the. I'll just keep wanting to say ILO. The other one, the one that handles the drives. Oh, I'm going to mess things up. Okay, it's on disabled. That's where it was. I'm going to leave it alone. Asset tag protection. Unlocked, locked. Don't really remember what an asset tag is. System default options. Restore, erase boot disk. Ooh. Use your default options. I'm not going to even get it. Just leave it alone. Utility language, English, leave that alone. Change the language. You ever change the language in your in something and then you can't hardly get it fixed because you can't read it? I've done that in software a few times over the years by accident. It's just slip of the mouse finger, you know. I did not see what I was wanting to see though. Yeah, it must be in the F10 to confirm exit utility, PCI embedded HP Smart Array. P4 10i controller. That's the boot controller. That's the RAID. That's what I was trying to say, the RAID controller. F10 to confirm. So I'm going to get out and reboot it, and because I think I need to hit something else in order to. I think what you do is you hit F9 and then hit F8 or F4 or something to get into the ILO from you can get into the ILO from on the machine. I think it's called, might not be called ILO, but let's see. Over there it says the ProLiant numbers BIOS P, yeah, the 2010 BIOS P67, so it hadn't been updated since 2010. And 65,536 megabyte of memory configured. Okay. Processors 2.53 gigahertz, 12 megabyte L3 cache. Press tab for more information. I think you have to use tab to get over. Oh, there you go. iSCSI MAC address. Huh. Oh, I see. It doesn't take your cursor over there, but it just shows. Okay, it's only 2 pages of stuff. Let's see. Escape to exit utility. I thought I hit F10. There we go. I must have hit it something else. Shut it down. It was starting to bother me. No, it's rebooting. Okay, well, this is what I was wanting. I want to try to get back in the, that would make more sense that it's rebooting. So I'm going to get back in there, and this time I think I need to hit, I think it's F8. It just kind of came to me. We'll see if I'm right. But I don't know. See, I have a noise gating compressor on my set on both of my mics, so you may not be hearing how loud that is, but it's fairly loud. It's, well, I mean, I've got it less than a foot from me, so it's loud there. And that's why I originally thought about putting it under the bed, because, but I'm not going to be in the BIOS all the time, you know. As long as I get it set up to where it's not too loud and doesn't, it works good. Lasts a long time, doesn't, not too loud, and doesn't, makes as little heat as I can get it to make, then I think it'll be all right in the rack, because that's another, what is that, 4 feet from me, I guess. I started to put it up real high in the rack to get it further away, but then you're closer to the ceiling, and it's going to bounce, all that noise is going to bounce off the ceiling. Luckily, I do have curtains behind the rack, or at least most of it. That'll help absorb the sound. And, see, F9. Oh, it's not time yet. But I think I want to be able to reach it to put in USB connectors and stuff, you know, without having to get up out of the chair every time. So I think I'm going to put it to where I can reach it without having to get out of my chair. Yeah, I did little circles down there. One of them says System Array, Smart Array, ILO 3. The other ones are purpled out. No, now they're, oh, okay. They just weren't activated yet. So everything activated now. And that's when you start seeing that. Oh, it says the temperature right there. Okay, and then I think you need F8. Oh, Control S. That's what it is, Control S. But I'm still going to... Okay, the F8 gets me in the create logical drive. Oh, this is the RAID controller. View logical drive, delete logical drive. Oh, I don't know that I got in here last time. View logical drive. Let's see if there's anything set up. I don't think there is. Controller HP Smart Array P410i slot 0 detected attached storage. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't think I got in this before. There are no available logical drives, so it's not configured. Okay. View, delete, manage license keys. License keys. Add, view. There are no installed license keys. Not for the RAID controller then. Let's say create. Okay, there we go. So you pick whichever ones you want, and I'm not going to do that now because I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it. I may take 1 or 2 of the hard drives out and put, I think my backup drives, if I take them out, shuck them out of their cases, as Martin says, they're SATA drives, and if they're the small ones, like laptop size, they'll go in there. These are the small drives in this machine, laptop size drives. But I haven't decided if that's how I want to do it. I mean, it'll mean erasing one of them. I won't do them both now for sure. I either erase. I really want to get, I have a 5 terabyte and a 8 terabyte, and I want to make sure everything's backed up to the 8 terabyte drive and then reformat that 5 terabyte because it's NTFS and it's broke on me 3 or 4 times and I had to fix it. File system, and I don't want that happening anymore. You know, I want to make it, you know, either probably an ext4. That's what I did the other one. Thought about doing, can't remember the other one. There's another file system that kind of self backs itself up. Can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, I'm not going to do. It's pre-selected RAID 50, but I would not. I don't have enough space, to do something like that. I have to make sure. I don't remember what RAID 50 really is, but RAID 1 plus O. I might be able to do RAID 5. I don't want to lose all my space, but anyway, I'm gonna if I if I take one drive out, it's gonna uneven things. So I probably want to take out 2 drives and put 2 SATA drives in there, but they need to be the same size. So I'd have to buy. I wouldn't want to buy another 5 terabyte. I'd buy another 8 terabyte. Guess if I was gonna do that, I better do it in a hurry because. But then again, I wouldn't mind having 2 5 terabytes though, because I don't know. There's not. I don't know what to do about that. So let's get out of here. Enter to create logical drive. Navigate up and down to scroll. Escape to return. Spacebar to select node. For more configuration options, use the HP array configuration utility. They have a CD that you can run to do that too, and do it like. Well, it just show. You don't do it remotely. You put the CD in. Well, I don't have a CD-ROM drive, but they do have one, and I don't have it. It didn't come with it. Let's see now. How do you get out of there? Escape to exit. Yes. F9 pressed. Okay, and what was it? I don't know if I'm going to reboot this. What it's going to do? Probably going to try to boot to the operating system, and it doesn't have one. Okay, F9. That's the one I know I want to. Oh, I got in there. Okay, that is. What was it? I already forgot what it said. S2 or something. That's how I get into the. I think if I get into the ILO, I might be able to see some of the stuff, the power. I want to see the temperatures and all those sorts of things. So I'm rebooting it again. And then the next thing I'll do, and I'm getting pretty tired, and it's almost 1 in the morning. I don't want to stay up all night. I'm hungry and tired now, so I think I'm going to have to. I want to see if I can get in there, and then I'm going to quit for the night. And I'd rather stay up in the daytime than all night, I've been for a couple of weeks getting up really early in the morning, and it's nice, really. I mean, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and now I'm getting up at 8:30. I won't be getting up at 8:30 tomorrow, I don't think, not because by the time I eat and get a bath, I'm filthy from getting in the dust, messing around here. So by that time, 1, 2, 3, I'll be lucky to get in bed by 4. I've already stayed up all night, haven't I? Dang it. That's how I do. I rotate my schedule on accident. Over and over and over. Trying to keep my finger on the F9. Oh, if I'm on the I've got the SM58 in front of me. I think I might have switched to it. So then you're probably not hearing much of that noise at all. The compressor works pretty good on it, and the noise gate, well, both works pretty good on it. With the SM58, you got to have something right up close to it for it to pick it up. It's better at, the SM58's way better at blocking, not picking up background noise than the lapel mics are. Yep, okay, now I'm getting used to the boot screen again. I can't read those little, especially with it all being purple. I can't read those little round dots. Only once I can read them once they turn blue and purple, then I can read them. Now I wasn't even reading the boot screen because I was trying to make sure I got my. Well, there's 78 degrees, nice and cool. Okay, I got that. Now it's supposed to be Control S2. That'd be hard to hit. I'll try it. Let's see if it tells me for long enough. It's hard to find all those keys to hit for all the different options. I had them written down. You know what? I got some sticky notes with that stuff written down that I didn't want to go digging through them all, but I guess I should have. They're right up here by my wireless keyboard. I know because I've been into the ILO several times already. I didn't go by that, or I didn't see it. I was looking away. I was looking at my sticky notes. It went right in there. I guess I better kind of look at those. Let's see. Well, I'll go switch to some other camera, do something while I'm looking. So I don't know what my camera moved. I must have bumped into it. Well, at least it was kind of, it wasn't. It was in the middle of the screen anyway. So, oops. Yeah, it doesn't stay real still. Oops. Well, that'll be good enough. Can't get it very good. That wouldn't cut off any of the information really anyway, so at least you can get the idea. You're not seeing what I'm really doing, but you get the idea. Let's see. I don't have a camera to point at myself without moving things around, so I guess I can, but yeah, I am on the SM58. Since it's hard to get that in the right place, I'm not going to move that around. I'm just going to hurry up and look through these, because I may have a special group of sticky notes that are all about that server. A bunch of them are by themselves, singles and different subjects. And, or maybe I have only 2 or 3 or 4 and I didn't put I put paper clips on them to keep them together, But that's why I didn't want to look through them, because it can take a long time. And sometimes I accidentally knock them over and drop them in the floor. And then they all get out of order. I've got all kinds of to-dos I've got boxes that I put away. I've got 20 some odd years of to-dos. And some of them I say, oh, I really wanted to do that, My batteries from my DeWalt drill are DC9096, 18 volts. But when you get so many sticky notes, you get to where you don't want to look at them anymore. My computer rack, I just measured it again the other day. And there's the measurements of it. Okay. I was figuring out how I wanted to put what shelves how I wanted to do the shelves for because this is not a regular, it's a computer rack, but it's not a regular server rack. There it is, HP. It's not a regular server rack. And I don't have any rack ears anyway for it, so sliders, and they're expensive. I thought about buying some. It's wider. It's like 22 inches wide. Well, I just had it. It's 21 and a half inside and 22 and a quarter on the outside dimensions. So, but I have 2 rack ear extenders. One of them's being used, but the thing that it's used on I need to take down anyway. It's a Dynaco preamp that's really nice, but it's so old that it's not working right anymore. It makes noise, and cuts in and out and stuff. So I quit using it 2 or 3 years ago, and I just left it in there so I would have something nice to look at instead of a hole in the rack. And I'm still looking through them. I don't know. Actually, why am I still looking through them? I'm not quite sure. Oh, I see why. I found something that I wanted to put, couple that I wanted to put together. I bet you those passwords are in there, and I didn't put it. I left. It was a big, not a. It's a beginning project, ongoing thing. I didn't put them in the other place because it's not. It's not just passwords I have in here. It's on these sticky notes. I have things like which which keys to press and all that. I think I'm going to have to get. Yeah, I know why I'm getting hot, because it's 82.9 now. That thing is heating me up with that fan running full blast. It feels like there's a heater in the room. There is a heater in the room. Anyway, I got to get a cough drop now. I put my trash can way over yonder to get it out of my way. Now I can't reach it. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back over. I think I'll switch mics because I'll probably end up wanting to get up. Okay, we'll get back on the wireless. Seems to be working. I'd be really upset if I. Yeah, I better before I get off of this machine altogether, get on the other one. I better make sure that my mic switch is working. Of course, it would be terrible if the SM58 wasn't working. Usually, if it has a signal, it's working. And it had a signal. I'm looking at my note as I wait. Okay. What I need live dashboard. Yeah, I couldn't stand running it like this all the time and making that much noise. All the time and making that much noise. There it is. Okay. Everything's fine with the. I might have found F9, F10. I forgot. System maintenance menu enables you to launch ROM-based diagnostics or inspect. F10, that might be where I really want. Boot menu F11, Pixie F12. So it's going to either be, first you do, actually no, I think it, yeah, the F9, F10, and 11, you can do any of those, I think, at the very beginning. But actually to get in the ILO, and actually I don't know if the ILO really tells you the temperature and all that. I was just thinking that might be where, but it might be in that F10 menu. System maintenance, that sounds like, well, that might just be for upgrading firmware and stuff though. Let's go ahead and look and see, because I just saw ILO in here. Where did I see that? Oh, okay. I wrote down an IP address I had was, getting on the machine. And ILO F8 on boot. Oh, okay. So I guess it's just F8. I did think that's what I thought at the beginning that would get you into ILO, and it is what it is. I was thinking there's one thing that you want to get into. Oh, it's the setup thing. You press one of the F keys, one of the function keys, and then you press something else to get into that setup. Kind of the initial setup. Actually, I don't think I want to do that. Not yet, anyway. If I decide I need to do that, then first I want to see, like I said, if there's any ILO licenses in the thing. And I don't remember. ILO F8. Oh, here they are. Administrator. Weird password. That must have been one. I don't know, but there's a weird password written in there. Oh, that's a user. Then the password. But I thought I changed them. Remote port, it says 85 and IP address. Gotta have JRE version 8. Update 65. 865. Check backups. XP. Memory module, Samsung. The memory modules are 4 gigabyte Samsung. I think they all are. I think I've looked at them. Desk and garage. Why is that on there? The desk and I have the measurements of my desk in the garage. I have a actually much nicer desk in the garage that I picked up off the curb. One of the neighbors was remodeling. They put it on the curb. It used to be a built-in, made out of ash, but it didn't. A few days before that came up, I saw some drawers, and I said, well, those are good-looking drawer fronts. And I thought, well, they're all broken up. And I thought, well, I could fix them, but I used to be a cabinet maker. Well, I could fix them, but what would I do with just drawers? And then a few days later, that desk showed up, and I thought, dang, that's why I wanted those. So F8 should get me in the ILO. Oh, what's the other thing? First, I'm going to try F10 because that might be something that would actually tell me the that might actually tell me the information I'm actually looking for. I'm getting to where I'm getting mixed up. Okay, so let's see, escape, and then, wait a minute, yeah, F10 to confirm. Okay, now this time I'm going to hit F8, and if that's not it, then no, I want F10, and then if that's not it, if that's not going to help me out with the, what the temperatures are and stuff, then I'll do F8 and look in ILO for a minute. Then it really means this time I'm going to quit. Takes a good while to reboot. It's not really taking any longer than the Lenovo i5 with it. It was really, really fast when I first put Fedora 28 on there. I was really impressed. It was way faster than Fedora 23, but then I got all installed happy, and I was doing group installs and stuff. Oh, I might want to try this. I might want to try that. Some of it I didn't know for sure what it was. I thought, I'll install it and try it. Well, it was stuff that some of it, the last group I did, it was stuff that, some kind of networking stuff. I don't remember what it was. And I needed to be configured, like hand typing in a configuration file. And so it hangs up trying to load stuff that it can't load because it's not configured. And it did tell you in the boot menu, suggestions on how to fix it. And I did every bit of that twice, I think. And it said it fixed it, but it didn't. So it's so old now, 28 and 32 come out. So once I get the server up and running, then it does, I can just reformat the Lenovo i5 without worrying about losing any. See, it's the only machine I got to use right now, my daily driver. I'm hitting it too early. Well, some of these F function keys you need to hit fairly early. Just hitting it like 1, 2, waiting, 1, 2. Because I'm not sure where the point is where you want it. Probably after all the dots go blue. Or after the first. Like when it pops up and says you can hit F9 if you or whatever, then I think that's the point. It'll start beeping at me. Uh-oh. I think I'm supposed to hit F8 and then press Control S to enter configuration. I can't do it fast enough. F8. Said F8. I don't know what it's doing now. Oh, we got into the drive configuration. I did hit Control S. I don't know if that's what got me in there or what. It goes by so fast. Okay, I'll just have to let it reboot again. So it must be F8 that's going to get me any. You may have to hit. There's one place, and it might be the ILO, where you have to hit something and then hit something again. And all those went away faster than I could. That was some more Fs that you could hit. When it beeps at you, it's telling you, you could do something. You better hurry. Now what's it doing? I think it's trying to Pixie Boot now. I should turn Pixie Boot off is what I should have done. Yeah, it's trying to do Pixie Boot. It says it right up there, Broadcom Pixie. I messed around with that before. I've made it work. I tried some parallel computing with a Linux distro called Pelican something or other. Okay, it's going to reboot because it couldn't find any Pixie Boot server. Pixie Boot server, I don't know if I ever got one up and running. Well, I did by just using a Linux distro that was pre-configured, basically. And what it was is, what was it? It was it's trying to do Pixie Boot again. How did that happen? I might have hit something that caused it to do that. That'd be terrible. Can you hit Control Alt Delete and reboot it? Yes, you can. Maybe that'll make it quit trying to do. I don't know why it kept trying to Pixie Boot. I hope I didn't mess something up. When I hit that Control S, what was the last thing? No, I hit Control S and then I saw F8 and I said, okay, F8. Okay, I shouldn't do that. When in doubt, don't just hit buttons. Because there may be some kind of boot configuration you can change. In a server, you're supposed to know what you're doing. You might be able to do a permanent change to boot configuration just from hitting, control this or function key that. That would stink. One thing nice about that light pole, it will get, without shaking all over, it'll go probably 7 or 8 feet tall. And I didn't realize that because it has actually 2 sliding deals in it, and one of them was kind of stuck, the top one, and I didn't realize it until the other day. But I've got that camera up about 6 foot and 4 or 5 inches right now, and that needs to be up that high. My phones don't have to be that high. They only have to be about 5 feet or something like that. That thing is way up there. And that's exactly where it needs to be to not be zoomed or, not zoomed. Well, I'm zoomed out all the way, and then, which is the default for the thing, and get the server in the picture. I'm so used to it looking purpley, I think it's the way it's supposed to look. I think it's just different shades of white, what it really is. At least it always works, the cable just doesn't work. The colors don't work right because it's messed up. Still at 78 degrees. All the boot options, they're not there for long. Control S to configuration utility. That was probably the RAID configuration, and that. Oh, here we go. We're in the ILO now. Set defaults. Exit. I don't want to set defaults. Network. User. Settings configure. About. I don't think there's going to be anything in here telling me the system. What was that other one that? Oh, F10. But I didn't see what I thought I was going to see. Add, remove, edit. Yeah, administrator, Dawn, 2 others. I didn't write down any passwords though. Well, it's not going to really matter until I get to where I can actually get the login prompt. But I can go in here. I don't think you could read it, but I want to risk that. So I'm going to go in there to, edit the passwords. This is the ILO.
when you're connected straight to the machine. All the networking is the way it should be. So, whoops. Directory authentication disabled. Local users enabled. I wonder if that means that the yeah, on the LDAP port. You know, I bet it's been changed. 85. Yep. And I think I'll LOM object password. With authentications disabled, that would be, you're not going to get to log in there. But I'm not so sure. Directory settings. I don't know if that's the ILO. I'd have to go into those users, and I don't want to do that on the video. CLI, what's that? Serial status enabled. Okay, auth required. Oh, okay, it's enabled. The console. Configure functionality enabled. ILO3 ROM-based setup utility enabled. Require ILO3 RBSU login. Well, that would be from when you're on the machine, I guess. Disabled. Show ILO3 IP during post. Enable. So this other one, that may need to be enabled. I kind of want to change that right now, but I'm not sure. Well, the up and down arrow keys just take you through the menus. The plus and minus don't do anything. You can't type in there. I'm going to hit escape to cancel before I mess something up. It looks like you'd be able to type. Your back button doesn't erase. I don't know how you change it. And then the password, you can change that, looks like. So I don't know. That could be authentication for being on the local machine, though. And I could set defaults, you know, and clean it all up, but I may end up needing to do that, but escape. Enter. Okay, I'm getting out of there. See, I went down to exit. Are you sure? Escape, cancel, enter, okay. F10. This time I'll try F10, like I said. I think I got confused. F10. Pretty sure it was F10, yeah. F10. I don't have that written down. It's on my machine. That's why you need to write that stuff down, because you can't look at it on another machine if you only got one monitor. The KVM switches are great, but in situations like that, it doesn't help. You know, you can't do it. So, okay, F10. Ah, I got in there. Now, what are we in? Oh, that's the setup utility. And oh wait, this may be different. Yeah, this is the one I was wanting to get in. Inspect utility. I think that's what I want. I don't want to set anything up right now. Yeah, this is what I've been trying to see. Primary boot. Now I'm dying for a break. Okay. Okay. BIOS 2010. We did already see some of that stuff. And the memory, MAC addresses. Primary boot controller. Smart array, the RAID controller, RAID configuration, firmware version. About the data gave a break. I'm going to have to quit for sure now. Okay, that was system configuration. Number 1 boot network. Uh-oh, I did do that to it by accident. Boot 1, 2, 3, 4 disabled. I've messed up the boot order. Advanced memory protection, USB. I'm gonna have to go in there and fix the boot. I hit something on the keyboard to mess it up, I think. Virtualization technology enabled, hyperthreading.
Processor core, disable all cores enabled. Okay, numlock. I was like, what? Numlock on state off. Oh. Removable flash media boot sequence. External drive keys first. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I haven't. I'm not sure. I'll have to make sure I didn't mess up the boot. Now that I got in here, I don't want to take off, because once I take off, I don't really want to continue. I'm gonna have to. So F10 gets you into this menu, these menus here. This is everything that's set, telling you what all's set for everything, and I can't keep looking through it. There's some, oh, there's way more stuff than I thought. Turbo boost, optimized for performance. I'm in turbo mode, dude. Who said that computer nerds can't have a turbo? Okay, so I'm gonna get out of that. Device on PCIs, yeah, that's just the addresses. BIOS system info, kind of the same thing. It's in real serious info. The clock, speed, processor, processor ID, system memory map. I'm not going in there. ISA, system EV data. Okay, I can't. Let's see. I have to reboot to go. That's what I thought. These are separate, 3 separate utilities. I have to reboot to get into one of the other 2. So it's too late. I need to quit. But at least I did get into F10. I did get into the area that I want. I know how to get in there now. I should write it down if I could find my pen. There it is. It's going to reboot again, isn't it? I got to get away for it to get to work and shut it down. I don't know where to write that down. I'll write it on a note, new sticky note. System diag and info. There we go. Okay. I guess I need to stay on the screen. Well, I'm gonna. It's gonna take a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign out and say goodbye to the server because I got to go have a break now. Okay, well, thanks for watching and whatever you watched of it, and we'll see you next time when I'll put the other power supplies in there. First, I want if I can see the voltage and all amperage and all that stuff in those other 2 utilities. I'll try to run them first, and then put those other power supplies, and then put my new video card in there. I thought about putting it in on these power supplies first, but I think I can do it the opposite way. All right, bye-bye.